TV Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
Here it is! Oh, you beauty! Jota on the volley, oh my goal! That is simply stunning! Davis takes 2 touches. Oh my word! Oh, you are kidding me! Ruben Neves has just poured one into the top corner on the edge of the penalty area. The Portuguese maestro has done another masterpiece.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Derby Day in the Midlands, 12 miles apart, 13 places in the table, and 22 points is what separates Wolverhampton Wanderers and Aston Villa. Derbies are often levellers, but without the crowd, what will it be like today? I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me, as ever, is the Hall of Famer Andy Thompson. We also have 2 very special guests with us for Derby Day as well. The man who scored the winner the last time Wolves won here in the top flight, Mr. Matt Jarvis. And we are joined by another true Wolves legend, the man affectionately known as Dangerous, Dave Edwards. How are you, boys? Looking forward to this one, Jarvo?
Definitely, yes. Thank you for having me. Yeah, a great game. Yes, the fans are not going to be there, but what a great opportunity to go and get some more points on the board and put one over your rivals.
You obviously had the benefit of being with us last week for the West Ham game. Edo has been no doubt enjoying the matches at home with the boys or with his son anyway. The other one's a daughter. Awkward. But you know what I mean, like enjoying it because he's a big Wolves fan. So what have you made of the couple of games so far?
Been brilliant, haven't they? It's exciting to have football back, but it's more exciting to watch the Wolves play at the moment, the way they're playing, because they seem unstoppable. Everything's going so well. Every performance has been so controlled, never looking any sort of danger. And then they've got that awesome firepower to go and win games. It's exciting times to be a Wolves fan, and I've enjoyed watching them from home very much.
The big thing is Adama Traore. We spoke an awful lot about him last weekend, Jarvo, and yet he is not in the starting lineup today. That will be a surprise to many.
Yeah, but I think we spoke about it before. I think the way he plays, the type of athlete he is, I don't think you can just put him in every single game, especially after such a long break. And I think he's probably looking at what he did against West Ham when he came on, and he completely changed the game. And obviously he's going to be wanting to play in every minute of every game, but Nuno's being very tactical and trying to use his players, because if we look at the other game as well, he's got, as I said, he's got fantastic players and firepower to go on and score in any game. So it's about a squad game, and this is it's very important to keep everyone fit.
Tomo, I guess we should be used to Nuno tweaking the formation sometimes to try and maybe a little element of surprise in there.
Yeah, it is, but I think probably the reason why he's tweaked the formation is because of Jack Grealish. I think that him coming into those little pockets just beyond the front line for Aston Villa, I think that it's going to be important that we try and nullify him. And I just think having that extra body in there is going to hopefully do something about that. I think that is probably the reason why they've done it, just to start off the game, just to tighten things up, don't give anything to Villa early on. And I think that he's the one who's going to cause a threat. He's the one who's going to be their main threat going forward. So I think that's the reason why he's tweaked it back to the 3 in the middle.
Edo, do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure how much comes into play with Adama Traore's shoulder injury, obviously still coming back from that reasonably slowly. But playing as well as he did the other day, then coming into today, with him and Neto on the bench, you think if Wolves can control the game and keep it tight, if they don't go into the lead, they don't panic. We've seen that in recent games. But that Villa team are going to be so tired when it comes to that last sort of 20, 30 minutes by the way Wolves play, dragging them all over the pitch. But then you introduce Neto and Traore, it's frightening. And those Villa players are going to be scared when they see them two coming onto the pitch.
Is there not an element, though, guys, whereby if you're Villa and you're in that dressing room and you see the team sheet and you see that Traore is not on it to start, that gives you a boost, doesn't it?
For me, if I'm one of the fullbacks, yes, it gives me a boost.
It
does to start with, but then, as you said, the further the game goes on, you're then starting to think, oh, it's coming, it's coming.
You'd be worried as well as beginning coming on. So when you start to get tired, and then you've got him to come on as well, so it's a scary proposition, thinking he's going to come on.
It is that thing, though, isn't it? That, are you going to try and push Villa out the way early on, Dave? Or it appears that Wolves' tactics in the last couple of games have been solid for 45 minutes, and then we go. There will be some fans who kind of go, well, why can't we do that for 90? Why don't we do it the other way around? Why don't we get a lead in the first half and then we can all relax second half?
I think they've done it all season, really, haven't they? And I don't think it's okay. If Wolves have an opportunity to score early, they're always going to take it and they're going to try and play on the front foot. But it's just the way Wolves play. They wear teams down. They drag them from side to side, from wing back to wing back, keep switching the ball across the back three, getting into Neves and Moutinho. And it is tiring. When you're playing against, I've sort of been unfortunate enough, I'd say, to play against Wolves in this formation when I was at Reading. And it's horrible when you know you can't affect the ball because they're so comfortable in possession and it's so much work going side to side. And I think because they play that way, it is when they get to the last 20, 30 minutes that all of a sudden the gaps really do start to appear. And when you have got the pace they've got, whether it's Traore, Jota, Neto, even Jimenez, they've got so much power going into that last 30 minutes, and just physically the opposition can't keep up from that point. And I think that's the reason why the games pan out the way they do. And Wolves are so strong in that last half an hour, not just against the lower teams, but against all the teams in the league. It's such a pragmatic approach by Nuno. And they're just waiting for that opportunity. And more often than not, it's when it comes when players start to switch off from the opposition. And usually that is in the dying stages.
Is it the kind of thing, though, Tomo, whereby it only works, this plan, as long as you are still in the game at half-time and at 60 minutes? If you're 2-0 down, it's gone. It's not worked.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that he'll be the first one to change things straight away if it is not working. Because at the end of the day, he's done this to try and nullify Villa early on. Don't forget, Villa have played an extra game as well. So this will be their extra game than everybody else, apart from the lads who had to catch up. So, again, they'll take that into account. They're well organised. We saw them the other night, say, the way that they're organised and the way that they shuffle across and make it difficult for teams to get in between them, get behind them, and then they try and catch them on the counter-attack. And I just think that, look, say, they'll make it difficult for Villa to get anything today. Say, Villa do count a lot at home on the fans. We watched the game against Sheffield United. It wasn't the best game. They were fortunate to get an actual point out of it after the goal against what Sheffield United weren't given. But they'll be thinking about the way that Wolves are playing. They'll think about how can they break them down, because teams in this division have found it very difficult this year. I think we've only lost 6 games, so it's proven that they are a very strong unit to have.
We think of this as something about local bragging rights. It's not just local. This has got such a bigger flavour to it. Let's get the view of somebody from a national perspective. Waiting to talk to us is John Percy of The Telegraph, who is downstairs somewhere here at Villa Park. How are you, Percy? It's one of those kind of matches where, from a national perspective, Villa, I guess, traditionally would have been seen as the bigger element to it, but is that changing now?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is a massive opportunity for Wolves, isn't it? I mean, it reminds me a little bit of the Chelsea game the other night, where obviously everyone was talking about how Manchester City could delay the title for Liverpool. But this, Villa are obviously in big trouble. This is a massive game for Wolves. The only league game of the weekend. They can really close the gap, can't they, on Leicester, which is, the progress they've made in climbing the table, closing that gap over the last few months has been remarkable, really.
Because you cover, obviously, most of the Midlands teams. When your boss gets in touch and says, have you got a story for me? Are they looking for Wolves stories primarily?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Wolves obviously the last 3 years have been remarkable, and obviously they're such an interesting team with so many sort of different players. There's exciting players. There's the sort of, the Connor Cody's, your sort of leaders in the dressing room. I mean, it's a really interesting team to cover, as you know.
Because Matt, do you get that? Because obviously you don't live in the Midlands. Do you sense there is a change in the way people view Wolves now?
1,000,000%. I think, especially with the what they've been building over the last couple of years, the manager, all of the players. I mean, the pull of people, if they're looking, thinking, "Oh, where can I go? I want to sign for a club." Wolves is such a huge opportunity to go because they're going places. They've got a fantastic stadium, fantastic supporters. The management is great, and the players. I mean, they're all improving. They're all sort of striving to do better. They all want to go to they all wanted to get to the Premier League. Now they all want to get into Europe, and it's only going one way. And who wouldn't want to come to Wolves?
John, do you feel as if Wolves are just on the up and up at the minute? Is that the feeling from outside the Midlands? John, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I say to people all the time that if you're a Wolves fan now, this is the time of your lives. I mean, it's like when Leicester won the title. It's one of those times where everything's come together at exactly the right time, and it may not last forever. The players will leave, the manager may leave. Obviously, not for a while, we hope, but it's just one of those times where everything's sort of combined and aligned. If you're a Wolves fan, you're in dreamland at the moment.
You obviously do an awful lot on transfers. You are known for being a little bit ITK in the know when it comes to all that kind of stuff. Villa spent an awful lot of money this year, way more than a lot of other teams. They're in a similar position to Wolves when they came up a year before. Why hasn't it worked for Villa compared to the way it worked for Wolves?
I mean, the transfer policy is going to be one of the things that whatever happens this season, whether they stay up or go down, it's going to be the main focus is going to be on whether the signings have worked. I mean, in their defence, I think after the playoff final, they had to rebuild. I think the statistic is there were something like 13 players for the squad, because so many players were out of contract. So they had to build again. I mean, not all of them have worked. I mean, I know they have these comparisons to Fulham. They get annoyed with them. You can't really escape them, though, but they did have to build a new team. Some of them work, some of them don't. Recruitment's like that, but obviously now recruitment's so important. It's what decides how you go. I mean, obviously Wolves, their recruitment's been fantastic.
Because that's the thing, isn't it, Dave, that you kind of, when you bring players in, they have to fit into the mould of what you're trying to do, and that can be really hard to achieve that quickly. So it shows just how well Wolves have done in that regard.
Yeah, I think they've done it better than almost anyone else I can think of in sort of recent history. Even you look at Traore, when he came, he was nowhere near a Wolves player and how Wolves want to play. But Nuno knew he had something, and they've worked on him and been lucky enough to see what they do on the training pitch. And it's relentless, the tactical side of it, the positional side of it. And everyone knows their jobs so well. And how he can develop someone like Traore and other players as well, it shows what a good manager is and how much he looks into not just what they bring to the team on the pitch, but also what they bring to the team off the pitch. Because it's a real good group of players, really good attitudes, and they all have to fit into that mould to play under Nuno and to be successful. And I think a lot of credit has to go to all the guys who do the recruitment there, because there's not many players that Nuno signed which hasn't quite come up. I think the majority of them have all been absolutely outstanding, and they've all settled in so well, and they've almost built their own, especially the Portuguese lads, their own little community. They love living in Wolverhampton. They feel they're really part of the city, part of the community. I think that's why the fans embrace them so much.
The thing is, John, if Wolves do make the Champions League, what's left of the summer that will be in that summer transfer window, you'll have every single Wolves fan, man and his dog, on Twitter. Who are we signing, John? Who are we signing? Come on.
It's all part of the game, though, isn't it? I mean, it's the transfer window is going to be an interesting thing, though, whether they do extend it or not. I mean, there's talks of October, there's even talks of January. But obviously, I think something will have to be done with the way this season's now finishing.
Just very quickly before we let you go, which way do you think it's going to go today, John?
I'm not just saying this, but I think a Wolves win. Yeah, I think Villa obviously changed the team a bit with the two up front, but I can just see a Wolves win. Quite a narrow win, but I can see Wolves winning this one.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate your time today. Thank you, John.
No worries, Mikey. Cheers, mate.
John Percy from The Telegraph. We'll talk a little bit, boys, about the defence, I guess, again, because as John just mentioned there, he thinks it's going to be a narrow Wolves win. A lot of that is built on how strong they've been defensively. And Tomo, you were alongside me on Wednesday. We spoke a lot about Willy Bolly. We probably didn't speak enough about Romain Saiss and how he has adapted into that back three and looks like it's an absolute perfect fit.
Yeah, he's looked comfortable there. We mentioned before that he plays for his national team sometimes there as well. But yeah, he's played really well. We know that he's got that erratic nature in him where he can go and get himself booked a little bit.
Well, he's got to avoid one booking today, otherwise it's a 2-game ban.
Well, so look, he's unnecessary when it the booking the other night. So look, he didn't need to go and kick him, but he just can't help himself. Sometimes he gets that frustrated, just wants to win the ball. But it's good in a way because it shows you that he's on the ball. So look, he's working hard. But yeah, the lads at the back have been outstanding, marshalled by Connor Cody. We've heard his voice throughout the games that we've been to already after the lockdown, and again, they just look like they're not going to concede at all. I think Patricio, there was no shots on target the other evening, so it just shows you how well the lads are doing. But it's not just about the back three. I think it's about the lads in front of them as well. I think they work so hard. Jimenez, we've said before about him, we would like to see him stay up front a lot more, but he does so much for the team as well, and Jota working back the other way. So it's a collective team effort when they actually are working hard to stop teams. But you've got to look at the back too. They've been outstanding. And since Polly's come back, they've been unbelievable.
I mean, Romain Saiss learnt those kind of unnecessary tackles from a certain player he played alongside in central midfield for his first season at the club. I don't know about you, Matt. I don't know whether that's true or not.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to ask the main man. But he certainly knows how to get around the pitch, does Edo. And he was always seeming to be in the right place at the right time. So I'm sure that was one thing he's picked up from him.
Dave?
Comment on that one as well, Edo, is that?
No comment. I'll talk about Romain all day. He has been brilliant, especially this season, because they had such a settled back three when Benno was there last year through the championship. I think Nuno always saw Romain as the one who would come in and maybe complete what he wanted. And even when I was at the club and Romain was playing centre field, you could tell he was a centre back. In training, he'd always drop back. If you're playing five-a-side, he'd always drop back into a defensive position. That was where he's more natural. And the back three has been so solid. And Willy Bolly's the standout one. He's the one that I don't think he hasn't signed a new contract yet, has he? He's the one they'll be hoping to get tied down because he'll be inundated with offers from sort of the best clubs in the world if all can't tie him down. So hopefully they can do. And the one thing I've not been looking forward to by watching the games with no crowds is hearing Connor Cody for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
I said to a few of my friends straight away, I said, you watch the Wolves game without the crowd noise and all you'll hear is Code. And true enough, that's all you hear, that Scouse accent bellowing out, even when the ball's at the other end of the pitch. But it just shows what a leader is, and it gives fans a bit of an insight to how much he does talk. None of it's for show. All the way through a game, he's talking, he's leading, players around him. When the ball's completely the other side of the pitch, he'll be making sure everything around him's organised. And I think that contributes to Wolves, why they have been so solid. Him getting players in position so they won't get caught on the counter-attack. They won't look vulnerable. And it's been a real good match, that back three at the moment.
Sorry, mate. What I was going to say was, I think Tomo said it as well. Don't get me wrong, Connor is unbelievable and he does exactly what Edo said. He organises everything. But the way Wolves set up and the way Nuno has done it is the whole squad. They get behind the ball. They're very hard to break down. And then they suck teams onto them, so they get them out. They try and get the ball forward, and as soon as anything's a little short pass or anything, they break it and then they burst with pace. And they've just got unbelievable ability to go forward. So the whole team is worked and drilled on keeping it tight at the back and then making sure that there is no gaps. And then as soon as you get an opportunity to break, they're so lethal.
It's almost like a comfort blanket for them, isn't it, Javo? They're happy being in that shape. They don't feel vulnerable. They don't mind the other team having the ball. Because they know that they're not going to get broken through, but they know as soon as they win it, they're going to have.
And they're saving their energy for that. Yeah, they're saving their energy to just get back inside in their own half. They keep moving from side to side, don't have to do too much energy, and then they save it for that one stray pass and bang, and then everyone explodes forward.
One thing that obviously you were mentioning there was hearing Connor Cody, and it's unusual for us to hear that much. It's part of the element of not having the crowd. And on a derby like this, you've all played in them. the crowd plays such a big part. How do we anticipate it? I'll go to Tomo first on this. How do we anticipate? I mean, they're trying to play the music as loud as they possibly can to give some kind of semblance of atmosphere. But when the game kicks off, it's going to be the players is the only noise we hear. So it's not a normal derby, is it, Tom?
No, it's not. And so I've been here a few times and played here as well, and the noise levels here are absolutely massive. And they do get behind the team. They do drive the team on. And as we said before, we all kicked off after the lockdown. That was going to be the one thing that the teams down at the bottom are going to miss more so, I think. That 12th man, where the need to get behind the team, the need to push them on, and they haven't got that. Okay, they're trying to play the sound as much as possible here, but it's not going to be the same during match day. You're going to hear the players shouting, no more so than Connor Cody. But again, teams down at the bottom probably need it a lot more, the crowd behind them, and I think they're going to miss that a lot today.
Edo, you played in these kind of scenarios and situations. How strange will it be? Because on a derby, you expect that roar, that atmosphere that just builds and helps a team forwards or works against them in a case sometimes when you're going away from home in a derby. Without it, does it level things off?
I wouldn't say it level things. I think it allows the better team to come to the forefront a little bit more. I think derby days can be a great equaliser in terms of ability. And when you are playing the derby day, it's the build up in the week. You're so up for it. You can't wait for the game to start. And initially, when all this started going off, I thought it might help Villa because I thought they can get a little bit edgy, the fans there, especially the situation at the moment. I've got a lot of friends who are Villa fans, and they say that it can be quite toxic when things aren't going well. So I thought it might help Villa, but more recently, the more I'm watching it, they need something. They need that intensity. And when you're not playing with a crowd, if it's a training ground game or if it's a reserve game or something like that, you definitely lose 10, 15, 20% of that enthusiasm and energy, which you'd like to think you'd be able to replace, but it just gives you that a little bit more when the crowd are there. And I think Villa will suffer more from that today than what Wolves will. I think Wolves, with the way they play, a very sort of continental way of playing football at times, which it can be slow and it can be pragmatic, like I alluded to before, that suits Wolves a lot more than having the crowd there. They won't panic when they're not getting the ball forward. They'll just keep the ball along the back, and it'll be Villa, it'll be worrying. They're trying to get out and press. I think they might really struggle with that today.
Because Jarvo, there can be no better sound than scoring a goal in a derby away from home. The moment the ball hits the net, the moment there's like a groan around the place must be unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's no greater feeling than scoring in any game, but let alone a derby, and then scoring away when you just sort of silence the crowd a little bit. But you've always got that away fans that just make such an incredible noise, and I think as well as the players, you, like Edo said, you build up to it in the week, and you know how important it is. Don't get me wrong, for the players, yes, but for the fans, for the whole club, and for the surrounding areas, you just feel that pressure, and then to score and get that release, and everyone is so elated and buzzing, and you're celebrating in front of the away fans. It's a special feeling.
Listen, we talked a little bit about the fact that this is not just a local derby. It has a national flavour. It also has an international flavour. And to get just a sense of that, we thought we'd head to China and speak to our Wolves superfan Yang, who is going to join us in just a second, and kind of see how fans, because there'll be lots of people in their homes around the Black Country, up and down the country. We get supporters all over the place who are tuning in. We also got plenty of supporters out in China as well. Yang, can you hear us? Hello there.
Yeah. I certainly can hear you, mate. So, but I can't see your picture. So, can you see me?
We can see you. Yeah, we can absolutely see you and hear you. Seems like you've got plenty of Wolves fans there with you.
Yeah. So I've got some of my friends, and they all got Wolves kits on, and they all been affected by me. And they all love Wolves, and they said Wolves is a brilliant team, and they will support them for life, and I will be delighted for it.
How did you become a Wolves fan?
Yeah, I can tell you it's quite emotional. So I can tell you Wolverhampton was the first city where I began my university life in the year 2000. I was living alongside Molyneux. So at the time, I can tell you the life was tough. I think it's Wolverhampton Football Club that gave me a lot of encouragement, gave a lot of support. Because I love football. I was a football fan in China. So yeah, so I'm very emotional to talking about 10, 20 years ago about the Wolves team. So I like the team, and the Wolves is in my vein. Wolves is in my blood. So I'm very pleased to see, the development for Wolverhampton Football Club right now. And they are challenging for the Champions League. So I can only dream of. So it's very emotional, very delighted.
What was it like getting to see the team in China last year? I know you were there. I know you got to meet Steve Bull as well.
Yeah, so I think it's my great honor to talk about the legend of the Wolverhampton. So I think it's the experience I will never ever forget for the rest of my life. And as a Wolves fan, I can't ask for more. And you people offer me a chance to speak just a pre-match against a Villa. So I think I will be delighted. Yeah. So and hopefully Wolves can deliver tonight, and we can certainly beat Villa and get into the Champions League. Yeah, I'm sure about this. You see the Wolves flag down there, right? So it's brilliant. My friend, what he said in Chinese means Chinese. Come on, Wolves! Come on, Wolves!
Yang, I've heard you're a big fan of Matt Jarvis. Is that true?
Yeah. So that is not my Jarvis. That is the Edwards. Is number 10. Is a Welsh guy. That is my Jarvis. Hi, Mark.
Hi, mate. How are we doing? You okay?
How are you? You see my mate wearing the.
How are we doing?
You were playing.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
good work.
Talk to you.
Yang, how big are Wolves in China now? Did winning the Asia Trophy last summer really help?
Yes, honestly, Wolverhampton as a club in China is probably now not as big a club as Manchester United or Man City, but I believe in the coming years, as the board, the manager, the things. If we do the right way, we certainly can become a bigger club in China, because the fans in China, they got great foundations. I can tell you, we've got a group now. We've got a couple of hundreds of Wolves fans right now, but they're all young Wolves fans. They never know what happened in the past. So as a Wolves fan, I think I've got responsibility, to talk about what happened, the history of the club. And here, all my friends here, they all influenced by me. I'm very delighted for it. And I really hope in the coming years, and we've got millions of Wolves fans. Yeah, I believe that will come in the short future. Yeah, so trust me.
What's your score prediction for today?
Yeah, I think for tonight, I think it's either 1-0 or 2-0, quite depending on the time we score the first. Like the game away against Bournemouth, we scored a little bit too late, and then the manager put off, Terry and Jimenez. It's quite understandable, because now we've got 3 games a week. But see, tonight I probably say 2-0 is the right score. I already put some money on, so yeah. So.
Just before we let you go, get all your mates together, and we'll get a screen grab that we can send to you, because Dave Edwards, Matt Jarvis, Andy Thompson. Ray, give us a cheer in China.
Wolves AB.
Brilliant, guys. Enjoy the game. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, okay. So I talk to you later, mate. So enjoy the game. Okay, 5 minutes to go. We can be a winner. Come on, Wolves.
Come on, Wolves. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the game.
See you later.
Enjoy, Yang.
See you.
Oh, hey. So I'm looking forward to talk to in the future.
There you go. Brilliant. I mean, it just shows you. I mean, Tomo, we think that it's all about Wolverhampton. It's not, is it? This club is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, rightly so as well. So it's they're getting bigger because of the way they're playing and the way they're performing, and the quality of players that they've brought into the club as well. I think that it's attractive for a lot of people now. So I just think that the way that things are going, the way that they're pushing on and performing in the Premier League, he's going to promote it. And so we've got Chinese backers, and they tried to promote it out there, as he mentioned there. He seemed bully when he was out there. I feel sorry for him, but that's one of those things. But look, yeah. But it's the way that the club's going. They're trying to go global. They're trying to promote it. And if the team are performing, that's what it's all about. As long as the team keep performing and doing well and have success in the league, then they're going to be promoted and people are going to start to have a look. There's already people talking about us, and that just tells you or gives you a big compliment about the way that things are going.
Right, score prediction time, everybody. Jarvo, let's come to you first. What are you thinking?
Okay. I think I might have to agree with Jan. I'm going to go 2-0, I think.
Okay.
I just don't see Wolves losing at the minute, and I think defensively they're solid, and they're always going to be comfortable on the break. And 2-0 seems a very reasonable score for me.
Edo?
I'm going to go slightly big. I think if the reports are right and Villa are going to go 2 up top, that could be magic or madness from Dean Smith. I think it'd be madness because Wolves will overload of midfield and absolutely dominate the game. I'm going for 3-0. I think they'll get, I reckon 1-0 half time, 2 late goals, 3-0.
Tomo's nodding along with that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, also, I think the way that Wolves are defending, I think Villa, if we can keep an eye on Jack Grealish, because he's going to be their main threat, I think Wolves will win. I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay. I mean, they are playing the music as if there are 42,000 people inside this stadium. There ain't. There are 300, including those of us just in this press box. Tomo is about 5-6 seats.
I'm getting wider, mate, from you. I'm getting wider from you. Further.
Mikey, where's your prediction, mate?
He never gives one, mate. He never gives one.
I am going to go with a classic Wolves prediction of 1-0. That's just the way it's going to be. Play it safe, and then anything else is a bonus. If you like Dave Edwards and you start throwing out 3-0 scoreline, and it's not 3-0,
it's the confidence that he's got. It's
just going to be disappointed, aren't you? Boys, brilliant. We will catch up with you again later on in the game. Thank you very much for being with us for this part of it. We will see you back at half-time. May be able to hear from you in the meantime. Thank you, Matt Jarvis and Dave Edwards. Thank you to everyone who's joined us beforehand. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Matchday Live Extra from Wolves TV, and the kickoff is coming next.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
This season, the Old Goal Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
So thankfully, the loud music has stopped and we are nearly ready for the two teams to come out here at Villa Park. Heartbeat is going round. The ball is placed on the plinth and Wolves should be the first team to make their way out. Some of the Villa subs are just coming out right now. And we wait and wonder and hope. All the expectation that comes with a derby day. It is always a special occasion, always something for supporters to get behind and enjoy. So we are just waiting for the two teams to be out. This is Wolves TV. Matchday Live, as ever, you can get in contact with us. Use the hashtag Wolves Live on social media. Always good to get your shout outs where you are tuned into us. I'll run you through the two teams while we wait for them to come out here at Villa Park. Rui Patricio in goal for Wolves. Willy Bolly, Connor Cody and Romain Saiz, the back three. Matt Doherty and Johnny, the wing backs. The Ander Dendoncker coming into midfield alongside Ruben Neves and João Moutinho, leaving Raul Jimenez and Diogo Jota up top. For Villa, all in Ireland in goal. Ezri Konsa, the former Wolves man, Courtney Hawes, Tyrone Mings and Matt Target, the back four. Marvellous Nakamba, Douglas Luiz, Conor Hourihane and Jack Grealish in a new look, what we anticipate to be a diamond midfield, with Mbwana, Samatta and Keenan Davis up top on their bench. They've got Pepe Reina, Neil Taylor, Danny Drinkwater, John McGinn, Trezeguet, Anwar El Ghazi, Hotter, Ahmed El Mohammadi and Indiana Vasilev. And Wolves have John Ruddy, Bruno Jordao, Pedro Neto, Daniel Podence, Morgan Gibbs-White, Ruben Vinagre, Adama Traore, Max Kilman, let's give him his full title, Maximilian Kilman, and Oscar Burr. Tomo, it's a strange feeling this, as this heartbeat continues around the stadium. I've been at plenty of derby games. I've been at plenty of Wolves matches. It's a strange, strange feeling, this.
It's strange because we're used to the roars of local derby games from the fans and everything else. And as you said, they've been playing the music extra loud just to try and spur the team on. But look, sound like Wolves have been very professional since the comeback in their performances, the way that they've played. I know it's a local derby. I know there's a lot at stake, or bragging rights, I should say. But we're looking to push up towards the top. They're struggling in the relegation zone. So both teams have got something to play for and something big.
Well, here they come. The loud sound system starting off again. There are Villa fan flags on the top of the Doug Ellis stand, and the wrap that every ground has goes around all the bottoms here, part of the pride on both the Holt end away to our right and the North stand away to our left. Nowhere, and I mean this, I don't think anywhere in the Premier League has had a good stadium dressing as Wolves had on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? So, look, I had people messaging me saying, can you see my face in the mosaic, what they've done? It's a little bit difficult because there was so many of them. But, yeah, Molineux was great the other night. I enjoyed it. Even though the fans aren't there, I say in heart, that in spirit, they turned up with the pictures and the faces. But it was very good. So, look, it was great results. Like I said, we played well, really well in the second half of the two games that we played. Let's hope that we can play throughout the two games today. Well, the two halves today, I should say.
So 2 wins from 2 since the restart. Wolves have picked up where they left off. Only the new champions Liverpool are in better form over the last 8 games. In contrast, only Norwich and West Ham have worse form than Villa in the same period. 2 draws and defeats since the resumption see them in the relegation zone. Derby days are often when form goes out the window, but without the level of a raucous home crowd, it becomes harder to predict. What's certain is both teams want the points for more than local pride. At this stage of the season, winning means more than ever. Loads of you getting in touch. Paul Clifford says, love the pre-match new look. Come on, Wolves, outplay the new Villa setup. Ash in Surrey, or here in Ash, Surrey. We've got 1 or 2. Hopefully the audio on the radio feed is sorted out for you now. You can always tune in to the Zoom feed and stay with us on Zoom, and you'll be able to see us pre-game and hear the commentary continuing all the way through. Christina says, even though it takes me a bit to sync up the TV with you guys, I wouldn't have it any other way. It wouldn't feel right without her favourite commentator. So that's very nice of you. It's Wolves TV, Matchday Live. So we've already checked into China. We've got plenty of Mexican supporters tuning in as well, hoping to see yet another Raul Jimenez goal. He is in incredible form. Let's hope, Tomo, that form continues.
Yeah, you would hope so, wouldn't you? So, look, it'd be nice if Jota got one, though. So, his strike partner, because you say he's worked really hard since he's come back in the games that we've seen. But again, say it's about the supply, it's about the improvement that, say, Traore's put on the plate for him. Say, great balling, great headers. I thought the one the other night was brilliant. So, look, the desire that he had to go and actually win that ball to get the goal.
So here we go. The countdown is on. Everybody is ready. Jack Grealish stood over the ball. The whistle goes and everybody takes a knee. And the pause before the action begins. Referee checking everybody's okay. Craig Pawson is the man in the middle. And here we go with the first 45 minutes of a derby, but not like we've seen it before. Aston Villa against Wolves, traditionally a feisty occasion. It might not have the same flavour in the stands. We anticipate it will still have quite an edge on the field of play. Yeah. Wolves playing from right to left as we look at it first half.
Yes, sorry. They're fighting for their lives. They need to stay in this division for one reason or another. So, like, with all the signings that they've signed, so, like, a bit of pride as well, I would think, from the players. But again, so we've got something else at stake. We've got to play for that top half. I'm not going to mention it because I know you don't like to about the Champions League, but so we've got an opportunity.
You're not going to mention it, and then you just did.
But yeah, so it's a good opportunity for us.
It's Jota driving forwards early on for Wolves, finding Jimenez midway inside the Villa half. Out to the right hand side to Doherty. Just target with him for company. He'll play it backwards to Willy Bolly. And then just inside his own half to Connor Cody. He will try and switch a diagonal ball out towards Johnny. One in the air by Concert. Saiz first to it, but a bit of a loose pass from him out of play. Wolves in gold shirts, black shorts and black socks. Villa in their claret and blue tops, white shorts and blue socks. Playing towards their favoured Holt end in the first half. Which means hopefully Wolves goals will come in the first half because we've got a much better view of seeing them. The press box is quite away to the left-hand side as we look at the pitch. Nuno out in his technical area. Dean Smith up in the stand as he has been for Villa's home games so far. There's Ezri Concert on the right-hand side for Aston Villa. Up towards Douglas Luiz, back to Ezri Concert. Jota trying to close down, put a bit of a pressure on the pass, and it will go all the way through. Saiz actually didn't want to touch it, and I don't think he meant to, but it clipped him. That meant that Patricio had to clear it with his feet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about whether or not he could have still picked it up because, as you said, he wasn't even looking at the ball. It's just caught him on the foot. But the right things to do, Patricio, not take any risks, not give any opportunities for them to have an indirect free kick and just clear it.
Here is Tyrone Mings up towards halfway, leaving it for brilliantly named Marvellous Nakamba. Grealish just to the left of the centre circle on halfway. Good pressure being put on by Neves. Grealish aiming to turn and then find Tyrone Mings. Wide to the left-hand side to Nakamba. Tried to flick it forwards to Samatta. Foot in by Neves. Doherty will clip it over the halfway line. Jimenez tried to take it on the chest, but it will go out of play for a Villa throw.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, the three in midfield. It gives them an opportunity for one of them or one of the three midfielders just to pick up Grealish. And already, say, you've seen either Moutinho or Neves has picked him up or got close to him. But you know how hard this team works. So they make sure that if they just get past one, there's always somebody else coming in the majority of the times.
Concert under pressure from Johnny. Concert fell onto the ball, and you can see Johnny's frustration at the eventual free kick that was given.
Well, I don't think there's that much in it. I think he's gone down and held the ball. I think I think the referee was hesitating a little bit. I thought he was going to give a free kick to Wolves there for a handball.
It's gone back to Oyen Nyland. Let's hope the VAR and goal line technology is working properly today. Concert down the line for the run of Samatta, who I think just ran out of room there and he played it behind for a goal kick anyway.
Yeah, so that must have been borderline. We know that Wolves hold a good line with Conor Cody. But it's in no flag, but it just fortunate just run out of play. There's a Villa player then already. Did target? Yeah.
Well, they had some injury problems, didn't they, actually, early on in the game at Molineux earlier this season. Had to make a couple of changes.
He went off with a twisted sock against Traore, didn't he, or something? Please get me off.
He's had a tough week, hasn't he? St. Maximum.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
Well, I watched a bit of him playing for Newcastle the other day. He looks a danger, doesn't he? He's quick, he's direct.
Well, while this treatment is taking place.
Well, I'm just watching the replays. Put his hand on his hamstring. Target.
Yeah, back of the left leg. Tom wants us to wish his daughter Lucy a happy 6th birthday. She's proudly wearing her new Wolves shirt and listening to your commentary as ever. Happy birthday to Lucy.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Rob Knight, good morning from Calgary. 5:30 a.m. kickoff.
Wow.
Syncing you with the TV. Big game for both teams. I'll take a scrappy 1-0 today, but I'm nervous, says Rob. Mystic Kev's gone for 2-1 Wolves. Raul Jimenez double. Let us know your predictions. Use the hashtag Wolves Live. At Mikey Burrows, at Wolves on Twitter. Only 5.5 minutes into this game. And the eerie silence, apart from those others in the press box doing their commentary, is all we can hear inside this ground. It certainly wouldn't be like that on a normal derby day.
Oh no, there'd be a roar from both ends, wouldn't there? Say they have a decent following. Not as good as Wolves, though. Not as good as Wolves.
Wolves haven't had a great record here, though, in recent times. It's been not a happy place to visit. Not won on the last 4. Last win was that 1-0 in March of 2011 when Matt Jarvis got an early winner. And I think I'm right in saying, was that the day that Wolves we went technically top of the league?
I can't remember.
I think it was like 3, no, because it was March. Must have been the season before.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It was a 0-0 draw, actually. Yanni, my producer in front, might know. It was the 3rd game of the season, early kickoff, 0-0 draw, and under Mick McCarthy. And Wolves were technically top of the Premier League at that point because it was an early kickoff. Season before. Unbelievable, that. You know, Liverpool, by the way, winning the Premier League. Pretty sure it was 2 years after they won the Asia Trophy. Just saying, won a European trophy, and then
there you go.
And then on.
Let's hope it follows.
I've been spending too much time around you. I'm getting carried away.
It's always nice to dream, Michael. It's always nice to dream.
We are back underway. Hurahan on the right-hand side. Grealish took a tumble.
Never fell.
Villa basically stopped playing and appealed for the foul. And eventually, Craig Pawson gave in to their requests.
Oh, I'm just watching the replay.
Oh. Well, he is the most fouled player in the Premier League, Jack Grealish.
He's nearly double everybody else, isn't he?
He's about 50 more than anyone else, I think.
Oh, ridiculous.
Make of that what you will. As Hurahan launches the free kick deep into the Wolves penalty area, headed goalwards well wide of the right-hand post of Rui Patricio from Courtney Hawes, who no doubt will be looking to prove a point.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will against his old club. So players like him had to go out and play somewhere else, didn't they? Because he wasn't getting a regular starting lineup at the Wolves. And he was getting to an age where he needed to be playing football. So, again, he's come to Villa. might not class it as football, but he's playing here.
Steady. Here's Neves. Backwards to Cody, to Saiz. We've played 8.5 minutes at Villa Park. And this Saturday lunchtime, it was absolutely pouring with rain when we arrived, but the sun has come out, thankfully. Bit of a breeze around, but it's a hell of a lot cooler than it has been the last couple of days. As Bolly tries to knock one long for Jimenez to chase. Tyrone Mings with him. Flag goes up pretty late.
Yeah, he was just offside. Just went a little bit too early. It was good ball from Bolly. Down the sides. He's never going to be able to run it. If it's a hamstring injury, he's never going to be able to run it.
Yeah, Target is down again.
Yeah.
And Physio's looking to come on again. I think the referee's suggesting that they just take him off on the far side. Neil Taylor is stripped and ready to come on. Ed from Reading says, fresh from football training, 3-0 Wolves. Please say hello to Dave Edwards, class player. Spencer is listening in Telford with his beautiful new fiancée. Congratulations to both of you. Tom says, thank you so much. Little girl grinning from ear to ear. Have a great birthday, Lucy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be celebrating 3 points as well as Neil Taylor enters the action early on.
It's like for like, isn't it? So,
Please welcome number 3, Neil Taylor.
Yeah, so if he's got a hamstring problem, he's never going to be able to run it off. I'm surprised they left him on.
Well, Target only lasted to 3 minutes into the second half of the game at Molineux earlier this season. Back in November, Jed Steer had to go off after 8 minutes. Forced substitutions can often play a part in affecting a manager's decisions. As Johnny throws into Jota here, tried to knee it into the penalty area, couldn't find Jimenez.
Well, it's nearly a great ball, that wasn't it?
Here's Neves. Just caught a little bit late, was he?
I thought he
Davis.
Yeah, I think that his touch was just a little bit away from him, was it? Just to allow the defenders to get back to him.
There's Tyrone Mings in possession for Aston Villa. Looking to knock it long up towards Keenan Davis. Bolly with a challenge in the back of him. Neves just slid in to get there ahead of Samatta. Back to Saiz, to Johnny. Johnny closed down by Conor Hurahan. Saiz's ball forwards. Jota with the flick on. Jimenez trying to put pressure on Mings. He plays it back to the goalkeeper, Nyland. And to knock it high over the halfway line. Saiz will win it in the air, but it goes infield to Keenan Davis, who takes a tumble and wins another fairly soft free kick off Ruben Neves. It's a little bit like Davis might have just kicked the foot of Neves and gone over. Grealish and Hurahan stood over the free kick. Over 40 yards out. Wolves' defensive line on the edge of their penalty area as Grealish looks to whip it in right-footed, too deep for everybody and through for a goal kick.
Yeah, so it's good defending. It's good. Again, the seller just stopping the runs of Aston Villa players, just trying to get a head on it.
Rui Patricio, who is in orange this afternoon with his goal kick. That is proper orange as well. Not the old gold.
Not the old gold. I'm glad you just clarified that for me. So
Douglas Luiz's header goes backwards. Mings hooks it high over the halfway line. Saiz trying to nod forwards. Neither side have really got to grips with it yet, have they?
No, so neither team has showed any positivity with the ball or anything else. To say they're both giving it away very cheaply.
Grealish on a run that Bolly comes across and forced to put it behind for a corner though.
Yeah, when he's running, you've got to be careful about your challenges, about making sure that you don't give nothing away.
0-0 after 13 minutes of the game. Villa just edging possession so far. And it's Hurahan who will take the corner. Left-footed from the left-hand side. Mings and Hawes and Conser are all forwards from the back. It goes in the direction of Courtney Hawes, who got his head to at the far post, but comfortably wide and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think it was Matt Dozy. Oh, great kick from Patricio.
Trying to set Jota away early against Taylor, and Jota has won the physical battle. There are 4 claret and blue shirts around him, and he ran out of room and lost the possession on the edge of the penalty area.
Oh, it's a great ball though, wasn't it, from Patricio, picking him out. I say he just got crowded out, didn't he? 4 players, as you mentioned there, Aston Villa around him. Didn't have really anybody up for support. I thought he might have just carried on, knocked it past him and just carried on against Taylor.
Mings with a long ball up towards Davis. He brought it down on the chest, but Matinho was there ahead of Hurahan and found Johnny. Goes backwards to remain Saiz. Davis putting pressure on high up the field. Saiz clearing to halfway. Conser won it ahead of Jota. Douglas Luiz in possession. To the right-hand side to Hurahan. Infield for Jack Grealish. Trying to find some room away from Matinho, heading out to the Villa right and then passing it out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's what they need to be careful of. Those runs from deep from the Villa players. But again, I think Conor Cody just stepped up and let Davis go, carry on his run. But that ball up to Jota, I think it's got to stick a little bit better from the ball from Saiz. Just got to get it up there. Can we get hold of it? Because then you can start to bring players in from behind him.
Jota, perhaps the most noticeable of the Wolves squad, who's got lockdown hair. He spent most of his 3 months playing on FIFA, as it was. He beat Esri Conser in a special game that was arranged to try and raise some funds for Acorns Children's Hospice. Won that comfortably.
Yeah,
and then went on to win the E-Premier League.
I was going to say, he's done well, hasn't he?
Just loves FIFA.
Well, clearly he does. He's very good at it by the sound of it.
Cody wins a goal kick for Wolves. Him off Keenan Davis.
Must be taking his traits from off the actual pitch onto there.
I was watching him practice, actually. Obviously, Wolves Esports have professionals who
I can imagine,
do it for a living, and Jota was playing against them for practice in the build-up to play. I think he did, yeah, he did pretty well.
Oh, wow.
Loves it. I loved it. I think everyone watching loved it.
No, I didn't watch you.
Oh, I bet you didn't. You're not into your PS4, are you?
I haven't got one. That's probably why.
You're still a Sega Mega Drive man, aren't you, really?
Atari, mate. Atari.
Johnny winning a free kick on the left-hand touchline, just short of halfway. My brother had a Commodore 64.
I remember it. I never had one. I had an Atari one when I was younger.
For anyone under 30.
40 probably.
Atari was a
game console.
Early games console. Joystick, would that have been? Or
it would have joystick, yeah. Cartridge is what you put in it was like a VHS tape. It's massive.
Most people ain't got a clue what you're going on
about,
mate. It's Jota to Doherty. Nice into the feet of Jimenez, round to Dendoncker. Trying to flick it on for the run of Jota down the right-hand side. And Jota looked like he was taken out by Tyrone Mings, and the referee agrees. And there will be a yellow card coming here as well for the Villa defender.
Well, he was too clever for him there, I think. Mings has already gone in for the challenge, and I think Jota just knocked it past him.
Yeah, just off the thigh, and across came the arm of Tyrone Mings.
No, I think that he was just too clever for him. I think that he was trying to read the player, but Jota just, as you said there, kneed it past him. But good position here.
17.5 minutes played. Doherty is hanging around beyond the far post. Dendoncker, Bolly. Jimenez and Jota are all in the box. Johnny is on the edge of it. Saiz is now joining them, having just had a word with João Matinho. There's a two-man wall. Matinho is only a yard or so to the right of the penalty area as you look towards goal. A big 12, 13 yards out from the byline. Here comes João Matinho to deliver. Clipped in. Jimenez's head, a good save at the near post.
Oh.
He got it across in front of his man, Raul Jimenez, and it needed a second opportunity to snapple it up from Orland Nyland.
Yeah, it was straight at him, wasn't it? That was the only thing. But again, good little ball in. Looks like they've worked on that just to hit the first man. It's just unfortunate that he said the keeper was just in the right position, wasn't he?
Clever little work, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wolves' best chance of the game so far. Game's really best chance. And Samatta as Villa look to try and hit back. Cutting back in field. Finding Douglas Luiz just ahead of the centre circle inside the Villa half. Trying to thread it forward. Saiss will clear. Jimenez and Mings in a battle on halfway, which Mings comes out on top.
It just looked like Jimenez was always falling over, wasn't he? His balance stopping actually putting any pressure on Mings.
There's Douglas Luiz. That's Nakamba. A short pass for Grealish on halfway on the left-hand touchline. A 5-yard ball in field for Nakamba. Backwards to Mings. Mings will use Conor Hourihane, who's dropped short. Base of the centre circle. Left-footed in towards the feet of Keenan Davis. Flicked it on. Doherty with a clever touch backwards to Willy Bolly as Wolves recover possession.
Yeah, so he did well there, didn't he? Just stepped in, just took the pressure off Wolves.
Well, that's loose from Johnny, who thought Jota was waiting for the pass, and Jota had started to move. Wolves surrendering possession a bit more easier than they would have wanted to. Villa have gone backwards.
Just can't get that momentum, can they? They haven't really had a good spell with the ball. Wolves, you can see that Villa are trying to force the game a little bit more than Wolves.
Pause. Matinho so quick to him, saw an opportunity, nearly nicked it, and forced Villa in the end through the goalkeeper Nyland just to kick the ball out of play.
Yeah, good pressure, good pressure. Matinho's just caught holding his ankle there a little bit.
Johnny looking it high into the centre circle. Dendoncker putting pressure on. Mings will go back to Nyland. Rocking Chair Dave has gone for a 2-0 win to Wolves in listing alone in Southeast Wales, due a Jota goal.
Yeah, just heard in there when Wolves lost the ball. All I heard from Conor Cody was shape. Blasting out, just telling the players in front of him.
Haven't been able to do a huge amount of training ahead of this one. They've kind of gone into the mode they were in early on in the season, where it's pretty much just recovery. And Samatta goes down the right-hand side, and Wolves try and recover into their positions on the field. Konsa will cross it first time, and Keenan Davis out-muscling Cody, but looping his header over the top.
Yeah, it was a foul though. You just seen the referee just speaking to him. I think he's got both his hands on Conor Cody when he's up against him. Yeah, so the referee's just saying to Conor Cody, we're doing the foul.
Harry Dalton, rare PM kickoff for the Dalton family in Brisbane, Australia. Come on, you Wolves. Baz has gone for 3-0 to Wolves. Jota hat-trick. Again, another one getting carried away. Haley checking in from a raining Cannock chase. Come on, me babbies. And Gary Smith is listening in from Tabuk. Too hot to sit outside. 40 degrees Celsius. His prediction is draw at half-time. 2 goals for a second half. Come on, Wolves. It seems on the basis of the last 2 games a pretty sensible prediction. Doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Especially for Nakamba there, who showed too much of it to Neves, who got it up early to Jimenez, but he was caught in possession by Douglas Luiz.
That's where he's got to do better, hasn't he? We struggled to really get any possession on the ball. And it's just cheaply there. So Jimenez just give the ball away to Luiz.
It's Grealish. 1-2 with Nakamba. Flicked high out to the right-hand side to Konsa. Midway inside the Wolves half. 10 in from the touchline. Threaded on to Douglas Luiz, but all the way through to Rui Patricio.
Yeah. Again, comfortable defending. They're just forcing it a little bit. But I still think we've got to do a little bit better with the ball. It's better.
Grealish in possession. Back to Mings, just inside the Villa half. To Nakamba. Wide for Taylor. Back in field to Grealish. Again inside the Villa half once more. Dendoncker putting pressure on. High ball out to Konsa on the right-hand side. Johnny trying to win it. Saiss got the ball. Now here's Matinho on halfway. Just into the centre circle he goes. Backwards to Neves. Out to the right-hand side to Doherty. A lot of space in front of Matt Doherty to bring the ball forwards. Looking to run at Nakamba. Trying to force his way into the penalty area. Still going. Doherty into the side netting. Jota was in a good position as well. And Matt Doherty, eyes lit up when he saw an opportunity to go for goal. Just couldn't quite get it on target.
No, he couldn't. It just felt lovely for him, didn't he? I think he'd be annoyed himself that he hit it across the goal there. So it just felt very nice for him.
Could he have done more? Could he have done something different?
I think rather than going near post, he could have gone across the goal there, because hitting it hard and low, a few defenders in there, it's very difficult to deal with the ball. Say if it's been struck across the 6-yard box, I just thought he could have gone across a little bit.
Let's view while the drinks break is on and get a word from Matt Jarvis, who of course is watching at home. What have you made of this opening period, Jarvo?
I think Tomo sort of said it really. It's one of them that Wolves haven't really been able to get hold of the ball like they usually do. They've not been able to dominate possession. Obviously, Villa are, they're the home team, I suppose. I know we haven't got the crowd, but they're the home team. They're the ones that are wanting to dictate play. They've got the essence they need to be getting the ball forward, trying to create goals. And Wolves are quite happy to sit back and get into shape, but they just need to get hold of the ball a bit more when it goes up top. Usually Jota and Jimenez, they've got such a good link up and understanding. They get hold of the ball, but it's not quite happened as yet. And it's not been a game that I didn't feel to be loads of chances to start with. But, Docs has just had that chance just then, but there's not been a huge opportunity to get shots at goal. So it's a difficult start, but I didn't expect it to go any other way at the moment.
Wolves found arguably the better chances, haven't they? Looking a little bit more threatening last couple of minutes.
Yeah, they have. The Wolves are so good at getting behind the ball and stopping play. Yes, Villa have had, maybe more of the ball, but it's so hard to do anything with it when everyone gets in shape and they shuffle from side to side. And whenever it gets in and around the box, they're always so good at getting to the ball first or getting ahead on it. And that's what, the back three, where we mentioned before, that's what they're so good at, and they're so drilled. And, as more as the game goes on, Wolves are going to get more of the ball. They're going to get more dominant and they're going to get more chances. And hopefully you'll see there'll be a few more opportunities to get some goals towards the end of this first half.
Okay, mate. Thank you very much. We'll see you again at half-time. Matt Jarvis with his views as we restart from the drinks break. Probably drinks break came at the wrong time there, Tomo. Wolves just getting into gear a little bit.
Yeah, so they were. And again, on the break.
Jimenez breaking down the right-hand side. He's got options in the penalty area. Fizzes his cross through just too fast and fired across Diogo Jota to reach it. Needed a little bit less on that. Dendoncker was in at the near post. Jota going towards the far side. Jimenez's delivery just evaded them both.
He had to hit that kind of ball across because they had 3 defenders and to take the keeper out of it as well. It's just was it Jota just about a yard or so just behind it.
Wolves looking much the stronger at the minute. 27 minutes played. Doherty in with a strong challenge with Nakamba, and Nakamba came off worse for wear there.
Well, let's just see that again, because I don't think Doherty had his arms up.
Nakamba maybe just caught the shoulder of Doherty as he went through.
Yeah, I don't think see the replay yet. Yeah, it was more of his shoulder, wasn't it? Yeah, but looking at that, it looks like he's gone into it a little bit. So look, Doherty hasn't got his arm up at all, has he?
No, I mean, it's a sore one.
Yeah.
For Marvellous Nakamba, absolutely. I don't think there was any intent there from Matt Doherty.
No.
It just means a bit of lengthy treatment as they check that he's okay. He's been absolutely prostrate on his front since the challenge, and that will be of concern to Villa and their medical staff as players just hover around here. New conversations ongoing. You can join our conversation. Hashtag Wolves Live on social media.
Well, he's back on his feet, isn't he? Which is a good sign. Yeah, he seems okay. I think he's give the physio the thumb up.
So Tyrone Mings will get things started. Villa will get a free kick from it. In fact, he'll leave it for Nyland, the goalkeeper. Nyland will look to launch it out towards the Villa right. Jota couldn't quite get it clear. Picked up by Davis. Douglas Luiz into the centre circle for Tyrone Mings. Now Courtney Hawes. Wide for Konsa. Posed down by Jota. Saiz will intercept. Moutinho back to Neves. Into the feet of Jimenez, who's looking to turn and try and play it in behind. That's a nice ball to find Jota. Jota up against Courtney Hawes here. Trying to cut back infield on his right foot. Support arriving from Johnny. Infield to Moutinho. Midway inside the half. Moutinho clipping it for Johnny's continued run. To the byline goes Johnny. Attempted cross blocked by Konsa. And Hurahan is there to tidy things up and get the ball cleared to halfway.
Yeah, he did well there, didn't he? Jota, good play.
Konsa back for Courtney Hawes with his weaker right foot, clears to halfway. Neves is header infield. Dendoncker, ball hit the referee, and that will be drop ball for Wolves.
That's the rule. Jack Grealish is arguing with the fourth official, but that's the rules, unfortunately. If it's the referee.
Hurahan is still arguing. Moutinho saying he's going to go backwards anyway, so thank you very much. We'll get.
But they're arguing, even on the dugout, they're arguing that Dean Smith. So at the end of the day, that's the rules.
Cody, lovely ball out to Johnny on the left-hand side for Wolves. Having to go backwards to Saiz. It's very congested in the middle there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And so I think that's what Wolves wanted to do. So, like, to make it difficult for Villa to break through on them.
Saiz fizzed into the feet of Jota.
Oh, I don't know if it was meant for him. I think it might have been meant for Jimenez. I think.
Certainly was hard to control for Diogo Jota. Throw in deep into the Wolves half. Cody there ahead of Davis, but Davis picking up on the loose ball. Finding Grealish, 25 yards from goal, heading out to the right side to Hurahan. Hurahan back on his left foot, low cross. Cody, not the best of clearances, but Bolly will be able to clear it to halfway. Just did enough there, Connor Cody.
Yeah, so he just got a fraction on it, didn't he? So, like, one of his best clearance, but he just got something on it.
There's Douglas Luiz out to the left-hand side to Taylor. Forced back in field, Douglas Luiz. Taylor again. Backwards to Mings, across to Courtney Hawes, just to the right of the centre circle. Now to Conor Hurahan on halfway, out to the right-hand touchline to Grealish. And to try and drive in field away from Johnny. Johnny caught him, free kick.
You can see why Grealish gets so many fouls. He basically waits for the challenge to come and he plants his foot. I was just watching it there. He knows the challenge is coming, just plants his foot or just puts his leg across him.
Yeah, it's like in a natural position, isn't it?
Yeah.
Swings his right leg into the path of Johnny.
Yeah, and he knows that the contact's coming.
Hurahan will take the free kick. Jota's a one-man wall. Everybody else on the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Hurahan again looks to try and go deep. Doherty and Hawes colliding, and Doherty wins the free kick.
Good defending. He knew that the Courtney Hawes was coming in. He just stood his ground. And then the contact come from Hawes, which ended up fouling him. Yeah, he's got his arm across his head a little bit, I think, as well.
Long-time teammates, those two. Will know each other's game inside out.
That must be the first time a player's pulled his hamstring thinking about Traore coming on, hasn't it? Target.
There's Moutinho. Nice little ball finding Dendoncker over halfway. Out to the right-hand side to Doherty. Back in field to Ruben Neves. Taylor thought he was going to be in for an easy afternoon, sat on the bench.
Yeah, when you start to get tired, so guess who's coming on?
There's Conor Cody. Short of the centre circle. Lovely ball through the middle to Dendoncker on the chest. Dendoncker and Neil Taylor sweeping round, managed to put it behind for a corner. What a piece of play that was from Conor Cody, spotting the run of Dendoncker, executing it to perfection. Dendonker's touch off the chest just got too far away from him.
Well, I don't think it was that he got too far away. I think Taylor just read it really well. He had to get there because Dendoncker had to control that to open it up for him to have a shot. But Taylor had just read it and was able just to get his foot to it. But great ball from Connor Cody.
Absolutely world-class pass, that.
But he does it all the time, doesn't he? We saw it many times the other night again.
Coutinho with a corner, right-footed from the right-hand side. Jota has gone short. Jimenez with Saiz trying to hide behind him. Goes short to Jota. Left it for Coutinho. Sweeps it in. It was one in the air by Mings. The Wolves players advancing. Neves trying to put it back in. Oh, it almost came through to Doherty. It needed Konsa's interception. Bolly putting pressure on Keenan Davis, and too much for Craig Pawson's liking.
It's a case of, like, if the player appeals for it, the referee's blowing his whistle. It seems like that. Because I didn't think that there was much in there. No. He was falling over anyway.
Well, Craig Pawson is the referee who sent Willy Bolly off at Man City 2 years ago.
Yeah, I just don't think there was anything in that. I think the lad was falling over already before the challenger or before Bolly's come near him.
Saiz battling away with Keenan Davis. And Davis very late on Saiz. There will be a Wolves free kick. Craig Pawson's last game that he took charge of for Wolves was the 2-0 win at Man City earlier this season.
Fingers crossed then.
He also did the 1-1 draw with Burnley. He gave Wolves, of course, the late penalty to get the equaliser that day. And the 0-0 with Brighton last year, of which absolutely nobody has any recollection of.
Guess forgotten.
Because it was an awful game. It's 0-0 here with 35.5 minutes on the clock. Patricio played the free kick across the face of his own penalty area to Bolly and then realised he was miles out of his goal. Had that not worked, and it's not worked for Wolves because they've conceded possession in their own half.
No, just invited Villa to press on, didn't he? Playing it all the way across there. And unfortunately, they lost it in their own half.
Samatta, left-footed cross. Too deep for everybody. Hurahan will collect it just outside the right side of the penalty area to Douglas Luiz. Clips it in first time. Bolly's header out to the Villa left. Picked up by Neil Taylor. Plays it back infield to Grealish. Grealish trying to cut in on his right foot and shooting low, but straight into the arms of the waiting Rui Patricio.
Yeah, well, that's the position that you don't want to let Grealish get into on that left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot. We've seen him score goals from there a few times this year. Again, you've got to try and push it. I think you've got to force him down on his left-hand side, not let him come in on a stronger right foot.
Here's Villa's top scorer this year. He's got 7 in the Premier League, Jack Grealish. Wesley is on 5 behind him. He, of course, is out injured. Neves, nudging the back by Samatta. Free kick to Wolves, just short of the halfway line, midway between the touchline and the centre circle. Trying to play it in behind early for Jimenez, who made a great run, and that come off Courtney Hawes. They're looking for the officials, and they're going to give it as a goal kick. Hawes tracking Jimenez's run as the ball was played in behind Tyrone Mings.
What a great ball, though, from Neves. Just spotted him, just couldn't get his foot round it, could he? On target. But a good spot.
Adama Traore is warming up down in front of us. His calf muscles are bigger than Tomo. Incredible.
It's all about the pace, Mikey, like yourself. It's all about the pace.
Oh, my word. Here's João Moutinho. Flicked infield to Jota. Back into the centre circle to Neves. Swept out to the touchline to Doherty. Jimenez has made the run down the line. Doherty finds him. Jimenez caught in possession by Samatta. Ball has stayed in though. Doherty has it again. Infield for Neves. Nice turn from him. Playing it backwards to Cody. Wolves recycling possession. Out again to Ruben Neves. Midway inside the half, just to the right of centre. Infield to Moutinho. Moutinho will clip it out to Johnny on the left-hand side. Jota's made a run down the line. Jota with it now. 10 yards from the corner flag. Backwards to Johnny. Infield to João Moutinho. 20 yards out. Wide again to Jota. Johnny still in field. Jimenez calling for it. Jota going backwards to Saiz, who will find Cody on the left-hand side of the centre circle. Back to Romain Saiz, just over halfway, into the feet of Jota. for João Moutinho, trying to clip it first time over the top of Conser for the run of Johnny, who will just get to it and keep it in at the byline, out by the left-hand corner flag. Waiting for the run to come from Jota, which does so. Jota back in field. Johnny having to check his run on his right foot, clipping his cross that's too high. Doherty turning, will keep it in, pulling it backwards to Jimenez, right inside of the penalty area. Raul Jimenez onto his left foot, finding Jota, who just miscontrolled it on the edge of the D. And Villa able to get it clear.
Well, that was a shame, wasn't it? So better play, wasn't it? Better play, keeping possession of the ball.
Big high ball that Bolly will nod down for Cody.
Oh, well played. Well played.
Lovely touch to find Neves, who flicks it out. Wolves maybe going through the gears here.
Yeah, they're starting to pick up the tempo, aren't they?
Last 6 minutes of the half. Moutinho wide for Johnny. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Backwards to Moutinho. Grealish blocking the option to go to Neves, but he sweeps it for Doherty. Doherty. Here's Dendoncker. Dendoncker for Jimenez, right inside of the box. Jimenez striking across the face of goal and a long way wide of the right-hand post.
It's better, isn't it? It's better. The tempo has been picked up. Got a little bit of momentum, keeping possession of the ball, and that's what we spoke about earlier on. Just unlucky by Jimenez. Tried to hit it across there, never really got his aim correct, but better play from Wolves.
Dendoncker was very unselfish there in laying it off Raul Jimenez. You can understand why when your teammate has scored 24 goals this season.
Well, he's got a fair point in here.
Dendoncker himself has got 4 this year. Double his tally from last season. Throw into Villa. Fairly deep in the Wolves half. Conser throwing it into the feet of Keenan Davis. Trying to find Hourihane. Moutinho and Johnny combine to try and bring the ball clear. Oh, what a ball by Johnny. If Jota can keep this in, and he has done. And it's Jota racing forwards, and Dendoncker is the primary support. Jimenez is there too. It's just a little bit behind Doherty, who has to check his run as he picks up on it on the inside right, clipping his cross in. Dendoncker trying to cushion a header down, but Jimenez was a long way wider than he thought he was, and Nyland came out and grabbed it.
Yeah, so look, again, great break from Jota down this left-hand side. So a good ball from Johnny, but again, Selleck.
Oh, missed throw. Jota to strike it. Oh, and he fires it over the top of the crossbar. Trying to punish the mistake from the Villa goalkeeper, who completely got his throw all wrong.
Nyland's a lucky man.
Looped out of his arm with a bit of backspin, and Jota took it on first time.
Oh, well.
Couldn't keep it down.
Well, he's fortunate, the keeper, isn't he? Because if he got punished for that, I don't think he would have been too happy.
Sliced across it, didn't he?
He's just gone for power, hasn't he? Just needed to hit the target. Keeper was in no man's land.
That would have been one for the bloopers reel.
Yeah, well, some Villa keepers have got that in them, haven't they?
Own goals and gaffes.
Yeah, Villa keepers.
Andy Thompson's Own Goals and Gaffes, volume 17.
Voiceover by Michael.
It's your voiceover, it's your video. I'm looking at Yanni from our video team. We can make that, right? Yeah, we'll make that. We made more bizarre stuff in lockdown. We can definitely make that. All the re-reviewed where myself, Tim Spears and Tom Parry watch old season reviews. They're still available to watch on the Wolves YouTube channel and via the Wolves app. Big Match Revisited as well. Myself and Chris Awelamo watching classic games, talking to people that played in them. Tomo appears as we do the Sherpa Van final.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, as I said to you. Enjoyed it, seeing the lads.
Tomo, Bully, Andy Mutt, Charlie Robertson, Mickey Holmes. Mick McCarthy appears in a win over Albion from 2011. With George Elokobi. Saiss and Johnny have mixed up a throw here, given Villa possession inside the Wolves half. 2 minutes of the 45 to go, plus the time to be added on. And there's been a couple of injuries and the drinks break. As Taylor lifts it forwards. Davis on the edge of the box. Back to Grealish. On towards Conor Hourihane, who tries to hit it. It was well blocked and it's looped high in the air. And Patricio will claim it.
Great block. I'm not sure who got a ball to it, but Wolves had enough bodies in there. Looked like they were struggling, but
think it's Johnny who gets across.
Yeah, it was a great block.
Because he does well, because he has to come in field to block off Grealish and then throws his body in the way.
He was great defending.
Excellent stuff from Johnny. Harahan.
Well
Saiz slid in and played it off the Villa man. Nuno's not very happy down there. I think you could hear him on our microphone.
I think he's not happy because Villa are starting to have a little bit of the possession, aren't they? I don't think he's happy with how they got it in the first place.
Martinho trying to cross field. First time ball that was intercepted by Taylor. Douglas Luiz, 10 yards inside the Wolves half to the right of centre as Villa look towards goal. Backwards to Courtney Hawes.
Just get away a little bit cheap at times, haven't they, in the last couple of minutes? I think that's what's wrong with Nuno. I think that he's not very happy with the way that they give away the possession.
Bolly looked to have outmuscled Nakamba. The referee didn't like it. Free kick Villa out on the left-hand touchline.
I think somebody asked me the question why about Jack Grealish about his shin pads, and I said that every player's got to wear them. We said he's already got any, and I said, well, football's becoming like a non-contact sport at the minute, isn't it? Can't go near anybody.
Better in your day, wasn't it?
Oh, the cricket pads on, mate. Never mind the shin pads.
Grealish and Harahan both fell over trying to take a short free kick there. And we are going to have 4 minutes being added on. So Wolves throw.
Well, just watching Grealish there, he's arguing with the referee saying that it was a foul. He got a 9.5 there with his dive.
Well, he and Hurahan tripped each other over.
Yeah, they're running to each other.
Maybe a little nudge from Jota to start it off.
He's still moaning at the referee.
Jimenez to Doherty. Swept infield at pace to Cody. Controlled it perfectly.
It's a great ball. Great ball from Doherty.
Saiz infield to Martinho. Still inside the Wolves half. There's Matt Doherty over the halfway line. On down the right-hand side for Jimenez. Jimenez with an early cross, and it just took a little deflection that stopped it going into the path of Leander Dendoncker. It was almost the perfect delivery.
It was so close, wasn't it? I think Tyrone Mings has stuck his leg out, and I think it's just ricocheted off his leg straight to the island in the goal. Very unlucky there, because it looked a decent ball into Jota from Jimenez.
Lions kick forwards. Played just over a minute of the 4 being added on at the end of the first half. Don't forget, back on our halftime show with Matt Jarvis and Dave Edwards rejoining us. And stick around after full time as well. We'll have hopefully some reaction from pitch side. Adama Traore joined us on Wednesday. Connor Cody and Pedro Neto last weekend. Johnny's throw. Jota trying to get the better of Courtney Hawes, and the referee giving the free kick in Wolves' direction as Jota went down.
Well, Courtney Hawes must know what Jota's like, the strength that he's got. I know he's a strong lad, Courtney Hawes, but once you get that close to him, you know that Jota's got the strength to roll with you.
Martinho with the free kick. Taken short down the line to Johnny. Back to Jean Martinho. Trying to get away from the tensions of Keenan Davis. Back to Saiz. Cody. Just on the edge of his D. Clipping it to the right-hand side to Neves. Neves back in field to Cody. Now for Romain Saiz. Wolves did well just to move Villa where they wanted them there. Jimenez on the left-hand side this time. Drifting in field. Into the feet of Jota. Wide for Johnny on the left. Johnny having to cut in field. Back to Jean Martinho. Spaces with Doherty on the right-hand side, and Martinho finds him. Backwards to Neves. First time cross took a deflection, and Hurahan will hit it back in the area where it came from. Bolly with a foot in. Doherty did well to keep that in right on the touchline. Then Donker infield to Martinho. Last minute of the 4 being added on. Cody with the ball in the centre circle. Clipping out to the left-hand side towards Johnny. Lovely ball again. Now here's Jota. We'll find Ruben Neves. Backwards out to the left-hand side to Saiz. Down the line for Johnny. Looking to cut infield once more. Support from Neves. Back to Cody, left-hand side of the centre circle. High ball out to the right-hand side to Doherty. Pressure coming from Taylor. Grealish got a foot in ahead of Doherty, and Taylor will clear it to halfway. Cody nodding forwards. Neves able to take it on the turn. Caught a little bit late. Referee waves play on because Saiz has it. Saiz tried to fizz it forwards to Johnny. Neves with a first-time ball trying to get Jota away down the left-hand side. Jota trying to fizz his way into the penalty area, but he just ran out of room. And it went behind for a goal kick, and that will probably be the final action of the half.
Yes, so a good spell for Wolves there. A little bit of possession, keep retaining the ball. Just thought Jota could have hit it across first time. So he's tried to run past Courtney Hawes. There wasn't much space between him and the touchline. But again, some good play.
Nyland will take the goal kick. And there you go, the half-time whistle here at Villa Park. Wolves arguably the better chances.
I think so. I think that they've showed a couple of spells throughout that first half where they have had some good possession, been able to cause Villa some problems. It's just been a fraction away from reaching the target in there as well. So like, then Donker's got in there a couple of times. Jimenez, good header from Jimenez and that off that set play as well from the corner. But I would say that probably Wolves have just edged it with the chances.
So will they feel a bit frustrated that they're not in front?
I think so. But if you asked anybody else, probably it's been a fair result with each team having Villa having a couple of little chances. Not really threatened the goal, but had a couple of half chances, haven't they? The great block from Johnny when you thought that Villa had just broke away. But I think on the way that it's gone, that Wolves probably thought that they could have been in front with the couple of chances that they've had.
The views of Andy Thompson. We'll have more from Tomo. We will also hear from Dave Edwards and from Matt Jarvis very shortly when we come back. Don't go anywhere. This is Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
This season, the Old Gold Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
So welcome back to Villa Park. This is Matchday Live Extra from Wolves TV. We'll get reaction from the boys in just a second. Don't forget, you can always get involved and give us your thoughts as the game progresses. Just use the hashtag Wolves Live, at Wolves or at Mikey Burrows on Twitter. Let us know where you are tuned in and listening or watching from as well around the world. It's always good to have you with us. Let's go to Matt Jarvis. First of all, then, what did you make of that first 45 minutes, Jarvo?
I think the first sort of 20, 25 minutes, I thought Wolves, sort of were on, not the back foot, but were more, they didn't get their passing style going. They weren't able to get hold of the ball as much as they normally would. The partnership of Jota and Jimenez they weren't working together as much as they weren't be able to hold the ball up to get the team up the pitch. I think after the drinks break, I think Nuno was obviously been speaking to the team quite a bit, and they come out and they had a bit more urgency. We were getting up the pitch a bit more. Their passing was a bit more decisive. People were passing in properly, and then started to create a few more opportunities. So finished the half a lot stronger and looked like the more likely team to score.
Dave Edwards, what was your view on it?
Yeah, pretty similar to Jarvo. I thought Villa started definitely better. And I said about Dean Smith's formation and how they'd line up. I think it started off with a bit of a dive, very free flow in the four in midfield. And I did think it caused Wolves a few problems. Neves in particular, first 20, 30 minutes was not able to get on the ball, nor was Moutinho. They were blocking out that middle area. And Villa were going full back to wing back and being comfortable with it. And Wolves didn't look like they could get into any sort of rhythm. But as the half's gone on, Wolves have got more into it. They're starting to dominate the game. And as well as Villa have done, they've created nothing. And Wolves are the ones who've had the chances. So I fully expect now Wolves to come out and dominate the second half. And if they don't get that goal in the first 10 or 15 minutes, then Nuno will start to make the changes and start trying to force the issue.
I just said to Tomo, I mean, they'll be a bit frustrated, won't they, that they're not in front, because especially with the mistake that was nearly given to them by Nyland, you would have banked on Diogo Jota. I mean, maybe he's just gone for too much power.
His eyes just lit up, didn't he? Thought, how have I been given this opportunity? And he just went with laces and power, and just you've got to at least hit the target there. And even he had so much time, he could have taken a touch, he could have settled himself, but the spur of the moment, you just think, oh, what an opportunity, and he's just gone for power.
See, this is the interesting one, actually, and the three of you can have your says on this, because you played the game, I've not to this level. In my head, I'm thinking someone's got to give him a shout, haven't they, to tell him he's got more time. But in the heat of the moment, is that kind of thing possible?
Well, I think when a mistake happens like that, it almost takes you by shock as well. And I think that all of a sudden means that, I've got to rush it as well, because you're not expecting it. But as Joe said, Nyland, once he threw it, he was miles out of position. So if Diogo Jota would have just been able just to calm himself for 1 second, then he could have side-footed it either side of him, because he was so far off his line, couldn't really be in a position to dive. But when things like those happen, when there's a mistake, you're not ready for it almost, and that's what Jota was like, and he's just snatched it, which is really unfortunate for Wolves, but huge chance.
Just a surprise element of it, isn't it? So that's the thing. It's like you said, Eric's come to him without even thinking it, because he's not expecting the keeper to make a mistake like that, but it's that surprise element, and he's just gone for sheer power. So the keeper's in no man's land. So if he's hit the target, he's scoring a goal, isn't he? So that was the thing. It was just that surprise element that took him, and he wouldn't have been listening to anybody else. So he just focused and hang on a minute, it's there. And
I don't even think anyone would have been able to have that opportunity to shout at him, going like time, like, because they're as shocked as he. And like Edo said, as soon as you get that sort of, it's like, oh wow, and then you think, oh well, someone's going to try and get back and stop me, so I've got to take it early, and you just snapped at it.
A couple of other opportunities to get your views on. Matt Doherty into the side netting as he went through. That was just before the drinks break. Javo, we spoke about it in that drinks break. Dave, you know Matt Doherty really, really well. Played with him for years and years and years. In that kind of opportunity, you kind of expect him to hit the target, don't you?
Yeah, you definitely expect him to shoot anyway. I think as it really opened up for him, and I thought as he went further and further, he did have a little look inside the box, but there's so many Villa players in there, and Jota had pulled back, and I don't think it was Jimenez. I think it might have been Dendoncker, or it might have been Jimenez, went towards the far post, and he would have looked like, I can't pick anyone out, and I think he's gone, I'm just going to go for power, and he's obviously just sliced it a little bit. I think if he'd have gone for power, and like Tomo said, try and keep it across the keeper, even into the Villa defenders, is a hard shot to deal with, but I think he's just tried to really put his foot through the back of the ball, and he sliced it a little bit, unfortunately. I don't think he was necessarily going for that near post. I think he was just head down, hit it as hard as he can. There's just not been a very good connection.
We saw Raul Jimenez, Tomo, put one across the face of goal when Dendoncker just teed him up. And Jimenez, probably his best chance, was from that really neatly worked free kick from Moutinho on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it was. So like you could clearly see that they worked on it because of the flight of the ball. So he's hit it in low, and he's got the run on the defender. He was just unfortunate that Nyland was actually in that position, so look at his near post. Because anywhere else, or a little bit more or less on it, I should say, he might have glanced it into the far corner. But yeah, it was a good opportunity. Something that it looks like they've worked on, just to mix it up a little bit. But look, I think Wolves will be semi-happy with the way that things have gone. So look, they've had the best opportunities in the half as well. We had the one what was fizzed across. I think it was Jimenez as well, where Jota couldn't really get on it, but he had to hit it that hard to take the defenders and the goalkeeper out of the game. So, look, say I think they'll be pleased with the half chance. I think Jota will be disappointed that he didn't score, even though it's come to him as a surprise. But they definitely edged it on chances or opportunities.
So, Matt Jarvis, the key question: how long before it's Traore time?
I know. Well,
Well.
I think we spoke about this at the West Ham game, and I think it just worked perfectly. Nuno knows exactly what he's doing. The game just needed a little bit of something, and that's what happened in that game. I can't see it being any different. I think he's going to wait, 10 minutes, see if anything happens, and then he'll probably make that double substitute that he did in the West Ham game with him and Neto coming on, and they were incredibly influential, both of them, and they can turn this game upside down. And as we said before, players are going to be looking and thinking, no way do I want these two coming on and running at me. So Wolves have just got such a strong squad, and the bench that they can then bring on, it's always going to distract teams, and they're going to be looking at thinking, another player that's going to be coming on and that can change the game. So it's all in Wolves' hands, really, to change it up as the game goes on.
So 10, 15 minutes, Dave Edwards, and then it's time.
Yeah, I feel sorry for my Welsh mate Neil Taylor. Oh, he'll be dreading this. I think Target saw what was coming. He did it at Molyneux as well, didn't he? He's got an Adama hamstring. Definitely. I feel sorry for Tails because it's gonna be relentless. But not just Traore, Neto. Neto has been so good in the last two games he's come on, and he'll be disappointed he hasn't started today. I'm sure once he found out Traore wasn't starting, he thought it might have been him that was in, and he deserves a start as well. So another point for him to prove, and both of those two on the wings. There'll be a slight change in formation if that happens, and hopefully that could be the catalyst Wolves need to get that lead.
Well, let's hope that there is going to be. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it, where so much pressure comes on Raúl Jiménez to be the man to produce in these moments for Wolves, and we're putting some on Traore. But you guys, maybe it's right that Pedro Neto, maybe today will be the day for Diogo Jota. Tomo mentioned it earlier, Jarvo, that he's due. And I know there's a number of fans that think he's due a goal. He tends to score in little bursts during the season. Maybe this is his time.
Yeah, well, he obviously he was on form before the break as well. So it's he needs to I think like you said, he once he gets one, he then goes on a little run, and it'll be important for him to get one under his belt quickly. But you've got to spread it out. You can't always give it to Jimenez or Traore to make something happen, and that's why Neto could be really important. You've got, as I said, you've got a number of players that will step up and create opportunities or score goals, and it could be a set piece from Matinho or Neves that that can just win this game. It's not all about performances at this stage of the season. You just need to pick up points, and that's exactly what they need to do today.
Because interestingly, just looking out, Podence is the only one of the outfield subs for Wolves who is not out there kicking a ball around at the minute. Now, there might be a perfectly reasonable reason for him not being out there. Traore is...
Dodgy pre-match.
Well, I mean, Podence is an interesting one for me because it's almost like he's the player that everybody knows the least about. And yet he's clearly got something about him. He's got that diminutive, quick pace, the ability to turn. Could he be the man to do Jarvis at Villa Park?
He'll be desperate to, won't he? He hasn't really had his big Wolves moment yet, has he? So he'll be desperate to get himself in the headlines and show everyone what he's all about.
Well, I can't see him coming on instead of the other two, Neto or Traore first. For me, so I know he's going to have to wait his time because he's got four players what are in front of him. You've got Jota, Jimenez, you've got Traore, you've got Neto, who are well in front of him. So, look, it's going to be difficult for him at the moment or at the present moment for him to break into it or break into the side.
So, just before we let you go then, are you boys still confident in your predictions from what you've seen so far, Jarvo?
Yeah, I'm still happy with a 2-0. I can't see Villa scoring. It'll come back at full time. It'll be like that. But I just can't see it. The Wolves are so solid, and the way that they play, and the setup, and the back four, and the goalkeeper. I can't see the Villa scoring. And they're going to change. They're going to have this attacking threat, and and they're going to score. So I'll still stick with my 2-0.
Dave Edwards.
Yeah, why not? I did say 1-0 at half time, but yeah, if Wolves get a goal and it's reasonably early in the second half, then Villa will have to come out, and then that's when they're hurt. So still very capable of scoring 3 goals.
Okay, boys, thank you very much. Matt Jarvis, will see you again at full time. We'll hear from Dave Edwards during the drinks break midway through this second half, and of course we'll hear plenty more from Tomo as Villa make their way back out. Wolves to come in just a second. The second half is next. Don't go anywhere.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blight Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group. Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Jimenez! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
So Wolves just rejoining us for the second half here at Villa Park. No sign of any changes just yet. Listening to Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. Big hello to Akka Ching listening out in Kabul. Matthew Green listening in from Manila says go Wolves. Mervyn in Northern Ireland, 2-0 Wolves. Thinks Mings will get a second yellow. And Jem thinks Wolves have huge potential to lead every match with the passion they have together as a team. Keep your thoughts coming. Hashtag Wolves Live, at Mikey Burrows and at Wolves on Twitter. Villa with Nyland in goal, Konsa, Hawes, Mings and Neil Taylor. Nakamba, Luis, Grealish, Horahan, Samatta and Davis. And Wolves with Patricio in goal, Bolly, Cody, Saiz, Doherty and Johnny the wingbacks, Dendoncker, Neves, Moutinho, Jimenez and Jota. And it is Diogo Jota who is stood over the ball, ready to get us started as Wolves play from left to right as we look at it. Second half, attacking what was the Holt end away to our right-hand side. Defending the north stand away to our left. The away fans would normally be towards the north stand on the Doug Ellis side of the ground, the opposite from where we are, side where the camera is. Kind of Tomo is pretty much level with the edge of the penalty area, the goal that Wolves defending now.
I am. So
I'm about 5 seats further towards the halfway line. I could have gone 2 extra seats as well.
I know. I'm very surprised you haven't.
Once again, I did request to be put in a different stand to you, but apparently that wasn't possible.
Well, wouldn't they happen in the other stand or something? Yeah, you got to go in that one.
There's Dendoncker, infield to Neves. Wide for Doherty. Back infield to Ruben Neves. Trying to clip it out to the left-hand side to Johnny. Good position this. Johnny on to the left-hand side of the box to Jota. Attempted first-time cross, came back towards him. Hit as far as Moutinho. Moutinho looking to whip a ball in that Taylor fell to his knees for a moment. Jimenez hadn't quite followed it in though.
Yeah, I don't know if he's had a late shout or he's just stumbled, Taylor. But it's a decent ball in. Because he looked like he's going to head it. I don't know if he's just like fell over.
Moutinho a bit frustrated that Jimenez didn't follow that in the end.
Yeah. Well, just shows you what they set each other, don't know how high the standards are, what they set each other.
Shows you what the weather is changing again. Thick clouds above us now, and the floodlights are all on. And it's June. It's nearly July. British summertime, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, who knows what the weather's going to do.
It's going to be a Villa corner as Conser went running down the right-hand side. Like he might have just hurt himself in the process. Mings and Hawes are coming forwards from the back. Conor Hourihane to take the corner, left-footed from the right-hand side. Everybody in a gold shirt back defending the penalty area. There's a big group of players around the penalty spot as Hourihane whips it deep and too deep and all the way through for a goal kick.
Yeah, you would think that that's one of the things that they would have an opportunity of scoring, wouldn't you? Villa, they've got quite a few big players in there. But if the delivery is going to be like that, which I hope it is all the time, they're not going to get much on it because they have got some height within the side.
Pam says she was supposed to be listening to this game with James in Marseille when it was originally scheduled. Instead, I'm at home in Shifnal with a glass of red wine and a cheesy nibble.
It's nice in Shifnal. Probably not as nice as where she should be normally, though.
Red wine? At 20-2?
It's afternoon, is it? After 12? It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Michael, you know.
Once again, that's the views of Andy Thompson and not necessarily Wolves or Wolves TV.
What, that it's 5 o'clock?
But red, I mean,
I never mentioned red wine.
I mean, we do agree with a bit about Shifnal being nice.
Yes, exactly.
Good ball to yards in Shifnal, I think.
Very nice Shifnal.
Villa with a free kick that Hourihane wants to launch towards the edge of the Wolves penalty area. We'll try and whip it into the danger zone. Or Patricio came and flew to his left and palmed the ball away. Doherty then takes a tumble under pressure from Conser and wins Wolves a free kick.
He's still limping, isn't he, Conser? Still hobbling from that opportunity earlier on.
Villa did have Mings and Hawes coming around the back post there. I think it did need Patricio to intercept.
Well, look, say if you're not sure, you deal with it, don't you? That's the thing. You're always taught to deal with it.
Oh, poor touch by Conser, allowed Jota to nick it from him. Jota deep into the Villa half, onto Jimenez, right-hand side, just outside the box, trying to cut back. Oh, deflects into the path of Moutinho. Now wide left to Johnny. Johnny having to check his run. Will use support from João Moutinho. For a moment, it was like, was that going to open up for a shot for Raul Jimenez?
I just thought he could have gone on the outside, couldn't he? So he's stronger foot. He's come inside. And again, the Villa had bodies in there.
Trying to do a little back heel turn. Tyrone Mings got the ball, cleared it. It's gone.
Still in, isn't he? Oh, I was going to say, I didn't see the
Villa throw.
Didn't see the assistant referee flag that for that.
Would have been controversial if something could happen from that.
Yeah.
Thrown by Taylor. Neves down to Doherty. Blocked off by Nakamba. They down the line. Cody there ahead of Samatta. Back to Patricio. On the edge of his box will play it short to Romain Saiz. Played 5.5 minutes at the start of the second half. Still 0-0 on Derby Day in the Midlands. As Cody plays a high one out to Doherty. Nice flick on. Jimenez there first. Trying to play it on for the run of Dendoncker. And across came Courtney Hawes, read the danger and put it out of play for a throw.
Yeah, well, Doherty's definitely got the advantage over Taylor, isn't he, in there? So Conor Cody playing that ball out wide to him. He flicks it into Jimenez, who just tried to play it into the path of Dendoncker. And as you mentioned there, Courtney Hawes coming around and tidying it up. But it's been some good pressure from Wolves in the second half.
Doherty with a throw. Moves it for Jimenez, back to Bolly. Bolly under real pressure will settle. It's actually going to be a Villa throw, just short of halfway.
Oh, God.
And then Grealish taking a tumble from Dendoncker. TV just have a camera permanently on Adama Traore warming up at the minute. Everyone's at the same view. Maybe 9 minutes away from Traore time. Or Bolly, a little bit of a mistake from him, a rare one. It's gifted possession to Samatta inside the Wolves penalty area. Thankfully, just enough gold shirts back there. Neves' clearance didn't go very far. Douglas Luiz finding Taylor. Out to the left-hand side to Grealish. Grealish looking to try and cut infield on his right foot. Clipping across to the far post. Samatta trying to help it back into the danger zone, but Saiss will clear it. There's a long ball forwards that Bolly, uncharacteristically, just didn't deal with and presented it straight to Samatta.
Well,
he's fortunate and he apologises to his teammates now.
Just about to say that. He's got his hand up apologising. Very rare, isn't it? So he does anything like that. He's usually neat and tidy. Doesn't give much away. Very unlike him.
Foul on Neves. Free kick Wolves. About 10 in from the left-hand touchline. Just ahead of the midway point of the Wolves half. Just going to get a replay of it again. He tries to clear it with his left foot. He kind of just puts it onto his right foot that stops it dead. Thankfully, Doherty and Neves came back to help. Strength of the Wolf is in the pack.
Yeah, exactly. But you just saw it when he did make the mistake. How they were surrounded the Villa players with Wolves players.
Doherty with a throw on halfway. Jimenez came to get it. Looked like it hit the arm of Douglas Luiz, but they play on. Grealish falls to Keenan Davis. Davis trying to hold off Moutinho. Wide to the left-hand side to Samatta. Back to Grealish. Up against Dendoncker. Dendoncker forcing him backwards. Grealish on the turn. In towards Samatta, who took a tumble, and the referee says no.
I think he needs to have a word with him over that. He's on his way down before it's even come to him.
João Moutinho maybe making that point.
Well, I think that he should be saying something to him. Even before, as the ball's coming into him, he's on his way down.
Strong challenge from Willy Bolly.
Yeah, just watching the replay again. Yeah, nowhere near him.
Ryan David said odds on Traore coming on and setting Jimenez up for a header. I don't think you get very big odds on that.
No.
Saiss trying to find Johnny, bit too heavy. Konsa back to the goalkeeper. 54 minutes played at Villa Park. Long kick downfield. Cody flicks it back. It's going to be awkward for Patricio to deal with, but he did well. Under pressure from Samatta, found Bolly. 1-2 with Doherty. Now Bolly clearing forwards too high for Jimenez. Traore is no longer warming up. Where he's disappeared to. He's back in the stand. Douglas Luiz. Taylor had to head it to keep it in. Got it back from Grealish just inside his own half.
Well, he's taking his top off and his bib.
Are we getting closer to Traore time? Grealish. Out to the right side to Konsa. Back infield to Hourihane. Now to Jack Grealish again. Trying to find support from Conor Hourihane. Backwards to halfway to Courtney Hawes, just to the right of the centre circle. Hawes will look to hit it back out to that right. Konsa back to Hourihane. Left-footed cross from him. Comfortable take by Rui Patricio.
Yeah.
Rolls it out quickly to the feet of Neves as Wolves look to try and get moving. Neves towards Jota. Jimenez is making a run ahead of him. It's down the line for the Mexican, and across came Tyrone Mings, and Wolves will get the throw.
Well, he had to be right on with that tackle, didn't he? Mings being on that yellow card. Yeah, good ball from Neves to pick out Jota. I just think that he's going to mix it up a little bit. Just got to be careful.
TV have spotted that Traore has his shirt on, and he's just putting his tape around his wrists. And if there was a crowd, there'd be a murmur in it about now. There comes Jota down the left-hand side for Wolves, trying to drive into the penalty area. Strong run that hit the feet of Courtney Hawes. Jimenez has done well to get to the loose ball first, just on the left-hand side of the box. Going to use Johnny for support. Infield to Moutinho. Moutinho will go further back in the half to Neves. First time pass to the feet of Doherty. Allowed to turn. Flicks it down the line for Dendoncker. Back to Doherty. Wide again to the touchline to Dendoncker. Backwards to Willy Bolly it goes. Infield to Neves. Neves switching it low across the centre circle for Saiz. Saiz down the line for Johnny. Johnny will play it backwards to Cody. Little first time ball from him to find Matinho on the centre spot. Clipped out to the right hand side to Ruben Neves. Neves, a little short pass to find Doherty. Infield to Jota. Jota wide again for Dendoncker. Back infield to Jota. Neves up towards the edge of the box. It's going a little bit wide. Found Doherty. Back infield to Neves. Sets himself. Now trying to switch the play. Out for the space of Johnny on the left-hand side. Johnny infield to Matinho. Left for Saiz. Wolves probably their longest spell of possession in the second half.
Well, it is, isn't it? So they're good possession.
Cody, wonderful ball out to Doherty. Doherty trying to get across. It took a little deflection. Corny Horse heading to the edge of the box. Neves, he was just off balance as he tried to bring it down on the chest. And now Villa trying to launch a counter attack as they try and hit out at pace. Douglas Luiz to the right hand side to Grealish. Saiz is out there to keep him company. Grealish, 25 yards from goal. Infield to Nakamba. Left for Grealish again. He'll set himself and try and cross from deep, and it crosses too deep. And it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, but you look at the amount of bodies that Wolves have got back. I know they had the counter attack, but Wolves got, was it 9 behind the ball straight away. Got back quickly, Doherty, from being up in that top half of the pitch. But again, some good possession from Wolves. Never really had an attempt to open anything up, but as Michael said, Traore time coming on, I think.
Traore's ready. Villa are going to make a double change as well in just a minute. John McGinn and Ahmed El Mohammadi about to come on.
I'm laughing at that. Like Doherty was, I think that he had stumbled or whatever. Didn't look like he was getting the ball, so he punched the ball with his hand.
Here come the changes. Villa forced into one in the first half. Ezri Concert will go off for El Mohammadi.
Is it McGinn coming on the other one? Yeah.
And McGinn on for Horahan. Here's the other change. And it's Jota who's gone off for Adama Traore.
Well, they're just keeping the same formation, aren't they? I think that's wise because, again, I mentioned about Grealish and the way that he likes to roam.
Here comes Taylor down the left-hand side for Villa. Infield to Grealish. Back to Douglas Luiz, who's lining up one from distance. It was low and it was wide of the right-hand post of Rui Patricio, who looked like he had it covered.
Yeah, so he was quite a long way out, wasn't he? 25, 30 yards.
Just about hitting the hour mark now. 0-0 here at Villa Park.
Yeah, he's still reluctant to change that formation, isn't he? He knows that Villa try and overload that midfield area with Luiz, Grealish in there. And then McGinn's gone in there as well.
Well, last time that Traore and Jimenez were 2 up top, I think it was Man City away.
Oh, well, there you go then. Same result.
Worked out all right.
Yeah, it did.
What impact can Adama have this afternoon? Cody's headed to halfway. Dendonker's flick in field. Matinho went for his foot. Douglas Luiz bravely got there with his head. And John McGinn up early to Keenan Davis. That's the right hand side for El Mohammadi, but Saiz read it well. Oh, lovely turn by Johnny to evade John McGinn and run up towards the halfway line. Now to Traore. It's his former team, of course. Jimenez. Johnny's continued his run here to the edge of the box, trying to tee it up. Dendoncker on his left foot. Oh, what a goal! Leander Dendoncker finds the bottom corner. The brilliant Belgian gives Wolves the lead at Villa Park on Derby Day. Johnny played a massive, massive part in the goal, but Dendoncker produces a sublime finish. It's Villa 0, Wolves 1.
Oh, what a great finish that was. I thought going on to his left-hand side, he was opportunity gone, but it's just the build-up play, isn't it? Johnny did that little drag back in that initial part of it. Traore Great ball across to Johnny. Slipping over. Bottom of the court. Great goal. Nyland, no chance.
His weaker foot as well.
Great strike.
Oh, what a strike.
Yeah. Keeper had no chance. Well away from him.
Edge of the penalty area, into the bottom corner. No mistake from Leander Dendoncker for his 5th goal of the season. And it could be one of his most important.
Well, Traore involved in it again earlier on.
Yeah,
But that's
Traore drew everybody, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, how it initially come from that Johnny turn there, that drag back from him.
Bolly heading the ball high on the edge of his own penalty area. Neves challenging. Wolves have a lead now to protect, and Villa will have to be a little bit more adventurous, and that will, of course, leave space and opportunity for the one-man battering ram up top. Traore and Mings challenging, came off Mings.
Just did enough, didn't he? Traore, just give him a little nudge. Just knock him off balance.
Leander Dendoncker's 7th Wolves goal of his career, and 5 of them so far have been in Wolves wins. The other one was a draw. It's not a bad omen.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But they've got themselves in front now. Nothing silly. But for me, I'll just keep going. Just play the game that they've done. They're a bit cagey in that first half. Had a couple of decent chances. But the second half, I think that they've had more of the possession. They've looked better on the ball. They've looked sharper. They've had longer spells with the ball.
Traore, not the best of touches. Back to Doherty from a throw.
There you go.
Villa will get a chance to try and clear their lines. So Wolves lead at Villa Park by a goal to 0. Villa back into their own penalty area. Mings under pressure from Traore. Going wide towards the corner flag and clearing over the halfway line. Saiss will play it back to Patricio. Samatta will chase him down. Patricio puts his foot through it. Dendoncker flicking wide. Traore under control. Still twisting and turning. Adama Traore.
Well, he stood on the ball. Didn't know where he was and still had it.
Bolly back to Cody. Johnny forwards. Jimenez. Infield to Neves.
Oh,
Tempted first time ball for Johnny. Just behind him. Well, he didn't score a league goal for Villa in his time at the club. He got 1 goal in 12 appearances. The high ball goes through to Patricio.
He was off anyway. Again, that defensive line from the Wolves just squeezing up as the players just gone to play it.
There's Mings on halfway, lifting it forward. Saiss wins it in the air. Johnny there ahead of Grealish. Nice little flick in field. Jimenez to Moutinho. In towards the feet of Traore. Now switched out to the right side over halfway to Doherty. Dendoncker's made a run wide for him. Here is Dendoncker. Doherty continued his run, but he'll play it infield to Traore instead. Traore trying to force his way through. Backwards to Neves. Now for João Moutinho. Out to the left-hand side to Johnny. Back to Saiss. Just about 66 minutes played. Now here comes Willy Bolly. Wide to the right-hand side to Traore. Traore trying to go on the outside of Nakamba to the byline. Attempted cross, blocked by Taylor behind for a Wolves corner.
Yeah, they're looking in control now, aren't they? So the Wolves are just playing it around the confidence of the goals given them as well. But I did say they looked a lot sharper in that second half. It'd be interesting to find out what Nuno says this half-time, because they seem to come out a lot better in the second half.
It's the Weetabix there pre-game.
Is that what it is?
It takes a while to kick in.
It takes 45 minutes to take it, kick in, does it?
Moutinho with a corner, right-footed from the right-hand side. Villa have got everybody back defending. The most advanced man is Grealish on the edge of the box, trying to marshal Traore. Martinho trying to pick someone out to double Wolves' advantage. In comes delivery, high towards the far post. Dendoncker was closest to it, got a touch off him. And it's a headed hands moment for the Belgian as he feels he could have had a second goal there.
I don't think he's realised that it's actually hit him. So, like, I think that he's come over and it's just basically hit him. It took him by surprise.
Well, they're going to take a quick drinks break. And a good moment to get your thoughts on that opening period of the second half, Tomo.
I thought that they've started very brightly in the second half. I think they've been a lot sharper, kept possession at longer periods of time. And that was the one thing what they didn't do that well in the first half. They had spells of it, but they've definitely upped the game in that second half. And again, they've got the just rewards in that goal.
Let's get the thoughts of Dave Edwards watching from home. What a finish that was by Leander Dendoncker, Edo.
Yeah, brilliant finish, brilliant goal. The impact of Traore straight away, occupying Courtney House and Tyrone Mings, getting them out of position. Then I've got to say, it's a great run from Johnny on the inside. And then when it fell to Dendoncker, he knew where the goalie was all the time, and it just needs that good connection. It was a great finish, and that's the 1-0 I was talking about. And now they'll go on and win 3-0.
Sounds so easy, Edo.
Yeah.
I mean, you know all about arriving from midfield to get kind of goals. Just talk us through kind of the speed of thought that he had to get there to put it onto his weaker foot.
Yeah, I think he knew once he shifted onto his left, it was just all about good contact, and you could see him concentrating when he hit the ball, and in the end, it was a perfect finish. But I think he's been brilliant today. He's been the one who's been running behind the fullbacks of Aston Villa, creating a bit more space for Jimenez and Jota to drop into. His engine is relentless, and he really is one of Wolves' unsung heroes. And since he's got his start today, he's definitely done well, and hopefully he'll keep his shirt.
Dave, thank you very much, mate. They're just about to get going again for the last part of the game. We'll hear more from Dave Edwards after the final whistle here on Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. Dave Edwards, Matt Jarvis, Andy Thompson, and more to join us in the final part. We have the final part of the 90 minutes to go here with Wolves 1-0 up. Just over 20 minutes to go, plus time to be added on. Villa need points. They have to try and come at Wolves. Traore winning a free kick in his own half. Question will be, how much will they gamble? And how much can Wolves then take advantage?
Well, I just think that you mentioned there, it is going to open up a little bit more because they've got to start pushing the game. They're desperate for the points. But we've just got to be careful. If we defend the way that we have done in the two previous games after lockdown, then you'd think that we're going to go get the result.
Dendoncker making another great run. He was picked out by a brilliant ball over the top. Unfortunately, Wolves went through to the goalkeeper.
Well, he's made them runs all afternoon, hasn't he? So, look, you could see what he's trying to do. He's trying to just flick it into Jimenez, but just didn't get his foot round it enough to knock it into his path. He was a little bit too close to the goalkeeper.
Douglas Luiz nearly gave that to Traore. Yeah. Slap bang in the centre of the Villa half. There would have been no catching him if that had happened. And that's the risk, isn't it? Every mistake can be capitalised on.
Well, I watched him earlier, Traore. He miscontrolled one of them, and so because of his pace, he's got the ball. And so anybody else would have probably lost the ball or lost possession.
Douglas Luiz trying to hold off Traore. Wide for El Mohammadi. Into the central position. Douglas Luiz just on the edge of the centre circle in the Wolves half. Left-hand side for Taylor. Taylor up against Dendoncker, being forced backwards. Mings on halfway. A couple of yards to the left of the centre circle as Villa look towards the Wolves' goal. Taylor down the line for the run of John McGinn. He's drawn Bolly out with him. McGinn stands on the ball. Doherty able to clear it.
I think there should be a book for that, for diving, because he's definitely done it there. He's got the audacity to actually appeal for a free kick with his arms spread out.
He stood on the ball and fell over.
I know.
Here's Grealish. On halfway. Jimenez tracking him. Jimenez did well to get a toe to the ball, actually. Neves tried to release Traore early, but he was just on his heels.
Yeah, Jimenez did brilliant, didn't he? Just got his toe to it to stop Grealish. And Selleck and Traore for once just on his heels. Just didn't get it.
Grealish backwards for Mings. Across to Corny Hawes. Now to El Mohammadi. Over the halfway line come Villa. Midway point of the Wolves half. In towards the feet of Keenan Davis. Neves nearly stole it. Douglas Luiz. Out to the left for Taylor. Sets himself. Low ball in towards Grealish. On the turn. Brilliant block by Bolly. Comes out to Douglas Luiz. Now to McGinn. McGinn trying to get away from Moutinho. Clips a right-footed cross over the top of everybody. And will come out of play for a Wolves throw.
Great defending. Great block from Bolly. Just got bodies there and numbers, haven't they? Just forcing them out.
We have played 72 and a half minutes. Matt Doherty with a throw down the line. Jimenez trying to hold off. Traore first a loose ball. Wanted a free kick, didn't get it. Grealish back to Douglas Luiz. Jimenez then sliding in. The referee will give a free kick for a challenge on Grealish just before we played it backwards.
I think Traore is asking the question, why wasn't he a foul? And Grealish was. Just his trailing leg from Neves.
So Grealish will try and whip this from the left, about 10, 15 yards in from the touchline. Wolves defending the edge of the penalty box, dropping deeper now. Header won by Courtney Hawes, but over the top of the crossbar.
Again, Doherty's picking him up and he's just putting another pressure on him that he can't direct that header towards the Wolves' goal. 2 or 3 times now, Doherty's done that.
As far as the stats go, first half, Wolves just had 51% possession, just edged it. Second half, it's gone up to 59%.
Yeah, they've definitely been the brighter of the two teams in this second half, haven't they? They started pretty brightly with some possession.
Patricio clearing the ball. One in the air by Nakamba, out of play for a Wolves throw. So Villa have made 3 changes so far. Wolves just the 1. Villa having played a game more, of course, since the restart. Jimenez on the turn, played it down the line. Traore wasn't quite on the same wavelength.
He didn't really have anywhere else to go, though, did he? So he just played down to there, played the percentage kind of ball.
Here's Neves. Couldn't find Jimenez with a flick over the halfway line. Taylor, deep. Bolly wins it in the air. Dendoncker down for Doherty. His clearance straight to Douglas Luiz, though. It's just got a little bit untidy from Wolves' point of view.
Yeah, it has. So, look, I was just talking about them having quite a bit of possession. And then all of a sudden, they started giving the ball away a little bit too cheaply.
There's Grealish on the left, trying to cut in. Good footing by Dendoncker.
He's been brilliant this afternoon, hasn't he?
Right on the corner of his box, and a big clearance. And Mings under pressure here from Traore, and he falls to the floor. And a free kick given against Adama Traore.
So unlucky. Mings knew he was in trouble. He had to deal with the ball. As soon as he's done that, Traore's after him.
Again, it didn't feel like there was much in that. Big high ball forwards up to the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Neves with a toe to it. Jimenez allowed to turn. Now run up towards halfway, and he's setting off here, Jimenez. Running through the middle. Now can he try and feed it through to Traore? Too much on the pass. Traore will keep it in, but he's right out on the right-hand touchline. He's offside anyway.
Just armed up for Jimenez there, didn't it? Yeah, he's just offside, just looking at the replay.
Just wanted that ball played a touch earlier. Trying to draw the players. Raul Jimenez has got through another epic shift. There's 14 minutes still remaining, plus time added on. El Mohammadi. Now McGinn trying to cross from deep, left-footed, flicked on by Samatta over the top of the crossbar. Goal kick Wolves.
Yeah, again, so like he's pressure on him from the Wolves defenders. Just watching Jack Grealish as well. He's coming out into this left-hand side a lot more now. Just seems to be coming out here, having the ball, trying to cut inside on his right side. Just need to be careful, because if you do give him opportunities, he's got the ability to just put it beyond Patricio.
Patricio to, what's the goal kick? Got a great amount of distance on it. Martinho flicked on. Jimenez heading backwards. Ball comes to Doherty, to Bolly. Bolly forwards. Taylor's header in field. Courtney Hawes will have time to collect. Midway inside his own half. Out to El Mohammadi on the right-hand side. John McGinn takes over. Trying to switch the play out to the Villa left. Taylor, first time in field. Flicked on by Nakamba. Doherty will see it behind for a goal kick.
Yeah.
Villa 0, Wolves 1. 77.5 minutes played. Bolly and Cody deep in discussion here. They're not happy about something.
Well, it'd be interesting to see whether they're not happy about the way that the Villa players have been going to ground. Anything that's come near them, they've gone down. So I might be just saying, just be careful.
There's quite a few balls being played into the Wolves penalty area for their liking.
Yeah.
We'll get a little bit more of a grip of it. Saiz climbs higher above Samatta. Neves to Doherty. Need to play it up early towards Traore. Lovely touch from Martinho to find Jimenez. Waiting for support to come. Gets it from Martinho. Into Neves in the centre circle. Looking up and spraying a pass out to the feet of Doherty on the right-hand side. Midway inside the Villa half. Dendonker's coming short. Now making a run down the line. Will go in towards the feet of Traore. Trying to hold off Douglas Luiz. Three players around him there, Traore. Found Doherty. Neves. Infield to Martinho. Martinho setting off on a charge. Now brings Johnny into the game on the left-hand side. Johnny back infield to Neves. Neves trying to clip the ball to the right-hand side of the box to Traore. Again, three players around him. Pulled infield. Dendonker turning and shooting. Blocked by Mings and out of play for a throw.
Well, that's the thing, Safe. If Traore can play the ball early or pick out a man early, they're going to have space because, as you mentioned there, 2 or 3 times now, they've had 3 players on him trying to stop him. So there's got to be space for other players.
Trezeguet is going to come on in a minute. Doherty. Flick down the line for Traore. Not a lot of room by the corner flag, but he's done well to find Matt Doherty. Doherty trying to flick it. Came off the knee of Grealish. It clears it over the halfway line. Samatta up against Cody. Bolly trying to get back. Dendonker trying to get back. Samatta still has it. Uses support from Douglas Luiz. Now Nakamba. Courtney Hawes taking over. Another double change coming from Villa.
This will be their last 2, won't it?
Yeah. Wide for Neil Taylor on the left-hand side. Flicked in field. Keenan Davis lost his footing. Doherty got in there. Clearance by Dendonker found Traore and now Neves. Neves' ball meant for Jimenez, intercepted by Courtney Hawes.
We need to get hold of the ball a little bit now. So just take the sting out because, say, Villa are starting to build a little bit of momentum because they're having a little bit more possession of the ball.
10 minutes to go at Villa Park on Derby Day in the Midlands. Wolves leading by a goal to nil. Neil Taylor for Villa again down the left-hand side. Midway inside the Wolves half. Infield to Grealish. Dendonker going to close him down. Uses support from Douglas Luiz. Back again to Grealish. Now Tyrone Mings. Mings trying to clip it up towards Keenan Davis. Trying to hold off Willy Bolly. Martinho got back there and Villa appeal for a free kick and Craig Pawson gives it them.
Well, the problem you've got now is, so there's only one place this ball's going to go.
Davis had pretty much just about the same amount of Bolly as Bolly had of Davis there.
Yeah, I was going to say, they just seem to be getting everything in the rub of the green at the minute.
So Nakamba goes off for Trezeguet to come on. And El Ghazi is also going to come on. And it's Keenan Davis that's going off for Anwar El Ghazi.
Double substitution for Aston Villa, replacement 11, Marcus Nakamba, replacement 17, please welcome Trezeguet. The second substitution replacing number 39, Keenan Davis, please welcome number 21.
So Villa going for it.
Yeah, they've got to. They're desperate now.
McGinn with a free kick. in towards the far post. Oh, and it was a flick on by Doherty, and Trezeguet coming around the back made a connection that thankfully just went into the side netting.
I think it's knocked him into a little bit quicker than he wanted, Trezeguet, because he looked like he was just missing Doherty. He ain't got nothing on it. He'd set himself to put it across Trezeguet, but I think that the actual flick on just took him that surprise and he couldn't really control it.
8 minutes remaining.
Neto's coming on by the look of it.
Yeah, Neto getting some instruction from Marie Pedro Silva. Doherty challenges with El Ghazi. He brings it down on halfway. Infield to Grealish. Trying to switch it for El Mohammadi. In towards the feet of McGinn. Got there just ahead of Neves. Now for Grealish, 25 yards from goal. Great footing by Dendoncker again.
He's done brilliant up against him, hasn't he?
Taylor got to the loose ball though. Mings finds El Ghazi. Grealish. El Ghazi trying to cut in field. Grealish again. Skipping down the left-hand side. Doherty with him. Pulled backwards to El Ghazi. On his right foot, trying to cross deep to the far post. He'll go all the way through for a goal kick. Villa are complaining and won a penalty as Samatta went over in the box, but Craig Pawson not interested this time.
He sounds surprised that they're complaining. So that's all they've done, is to go to ground again. So like well marshalled by the defence. Just edged him out. No, he's falling over. Needs to stay on the feet.
This will be interesting here. Will he sacrifice Jimenez?
Yeah.
Or does he change the formation?
I think he'd be happy with this because, again, that's their strong area with the change that they've done now.
Tricio took the goal kick. Dendoncker with a flick on. Jimenez chesting it to Traore. Traore with 3 claret and blue shirts around him. Took a tumble, and they're going to give the free kick against Traore for falling onto the ball. And it is Jimenez who will come off.
I don't think being 1-0 up, he'll sacrifice the formation.
Second substitution for Wanderers replaces number 9, Jimenez.
So Jimenez will go off. And Jimenez is doing the jog walk as the referee tells him he needs to hurry up. And that might well be one of the best examples of a jog walk we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's good technique, mate. It's good technique.
It's about the speed that I normally run at.
No, can't believe that. You're a lot slower than that.
5 minutes to go. Nyland with a kick forwards. Bolly wins it in the air. Neves helping it forwards. Neto to try and challenge. Martinho's header hit the face of Douglas Luiz. Neto taking it out towards the Wolves' left. 2 players for company. Trying to skip his way through. Couldn't keep hold of it. Villa have possession back again.
Well, with the 2 lads up front now, he just got pace. They're very direct. I just think that now if they can just get the hold of that ball, just drive themselves and Wolves further up the pitch rather than just defending in our half.
There's Grealish, infield to Mings. On halfway, finding the feet of El Ghazi. Loose pass from him. Taylor just about kept it in on the touchline. Grealish has it just inside the Wolves' half. Dendoncker forcing him in field. Douglas Luiz taking over. Now Tyrone Mings. Bolly blocking his ball. Traore getting there ahead of Douglas Luiz. Time to turn. Looking up, Doherty is racing forwards. Douglas Luiz fouling Traore. And Wolves get a free kick on the edge of the centre circle.
Well, that's what you count as a good foul, isn't it? Because he'd gone. Just stepped across him. You're watching Doherty there, just driving forward as well.
Neves finding Martinho. Cody forwards. Traore with a clever chesting down to find Doherty. Traore takes it from him, looking to run down the right, away from Taylor. El Ghazi trying to stay with him. Traore round the outside of him to the byline. Absolutely fires his cross deep. It might turn out to be a great ball to find Johnny. As Wolves didn't really have the numbers in the box. Coutinho infield to Neves. Now to Bolly coming forwards. Just about 3 minutes plus time added on to go. Neves Backwards to Matinho. Clip to the left-hand side to Johnny. Neto is there in support for him. Leaves it for Johnny to take over. Now infield for the run of Neves. Flick backwards to Matinho. Across the centre circle for Bolly. Bolly drops his shoulder. Moves infield from El Ghazi and then finds Doherty out wide. Leaves it for Traore. Infield to Matinho. Backwards to Bolly. Wide for Doherty. Flicked round the corner. Douglas Luiz got there first ahead of Dendoncker and Matinho. Pressure being put on by Neves, forcing the ball backwards. 2.5 to go.
Well, they had a little spell there, didn't they? Wolves just keeping ball, and that's what they need to do. The remainder of the time, if the longer they can keep it, the better it'll be.
El Ghazi for Grealish. Back infield to McGinn. Across the centre circle for Courtney Hawes. Backwards to Tyrone Mings. Wide to the left-hand side to Grealish. Grealish into central position. Out to El Mohammadi. Back infield to Douglas Luiz. Could be outside of the centre circle. Last 2 minutes of the 90. Tyrone Mings for Neil Taylor. Villa-0, Wolves 1 at Villa Park on Derby Day. El Ghazi trying to switch the play out to Grealish on the right-hand side. Johnny going to close him down. Got the block on it, did Johnny. It's a Villa throw. Grealish infield to Douglas Luiz. Wolves defending their penalty area at the minute. As it goes to the left-hand side to Neil Taylor. Taylor level with the edge of the box. Back infield to El Ghazi. Closed down by Matinho. Matinho's won the ball superbly. Now can Wolves try and break? Matinho trying to find Neves. Just too much on it, but he'll get the free kick. Well done, João Matinho.
And well done, referee, as well. He's definitely foul. He's just seen if Wolves should get an advantage of it. But say, good call by the ref.
That's the experience of João Matinho in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Won the ball. Was waiting. He needed Traore to get on his bike. He did so, but then was closed in.
That's why it's instrumental having him in this actual side. So a lot of the experience that he's got, the knowledge that he's got about playing.
There's Neves wide for Johnny. João Matinho's 681st club career game.
That's going to be a booking for somebody, I think.
Craig Pawson reached for the pocket.
I thought that he was going to book him. Courtney Hawes, I think it was, just pulled him back.
Yeah, Neto just hanging.
Yeah.
Hawes hanging onto the wrist of Pedro Neto. Wolves free kick out on the left-hand touchline, eating up the time. Last few seconds of the 90. Matinho backwards. We're going to get 5 minutes being added on. 5 minutes for Wolves to see the job through. Take the bragging rights and take another 3 points. It'll be 3 from 3.
Well, they'll be after the 3 points.
Return.
They'll be after the 3 points. That's the main thing for them.
Got to see this job through now. Wolves will be going into 5th. Albeit having played a game more than Man United and closed the gap on Chelsea to 2 points. Grealish on the turn. Wide to El Ghazi, midway inside the Wolves half. Down the left-hand side, blocked off by Dendoncker this time. El Ghazi trying to switch play. Neto's header went backwards. Johnny in a battle with Trezeguet. Did well to play it back to Saiz, who flicked it up and volleyed it clear, and Wolves get the free kick.
I'll tell you what, they don't like it, do they? Sound like it's what they've been doing throughout the game. Villa going to ground easily. But again, say good play. No rush to get the ball back, are they?
Patricio taking his time over the goal kick. Thoughts on man of the match to come from the boys on our full-time show. Reaction from down at pitch side as well. No matter what happens, as Doherty flicks on, Traore, incredible pace to get there and keep it in ahead of Neil Taylor. Now using support from Doherty. Put the afterburners on then, Traore.
He's quick as, isn't he?
Dendoncker Infield to Neto. Back to Traore. Infield to Neves. Wolves don't have anyone near the Villa penalty area, and they're playing with it in the Villa half. Johnny, we played 2 minutes of the 5 being added on. Saiss will go all the way back to Patricio. Has come out of his box. So just kick down the line. Easy for Courtney Hawes to collect it. These are the key moments. The nervous moments. Doherty, lovely foot in. Now they can break forwards. Doherty, infield to Traore. Neto and Neves are up with him. Traore, Doherty making a run. Traore trying to keep going and go wide, and he wanted a free kick, and Wolves bench are furious that it didn't come.
Well, I don't understand there. That's not a free kick. So he hadn't touched the ball.
Down the line for El Ghazi to chase. Bolly there and cross in front of him. Down by his own right-hand corner flag. Turning and clearing. Doherty trying to head the ball infield. Matinho, he'll get a free kick off Douglas Luiz this time.
Well, I think he's give that one because of the other one. I think the other one was a free kick. Oh.
Douglas Luiz might just have got the ball on that challenge with Traore based on the replay we've just seen.
No, I think that he's made up for the one that Traore was, wasn't he? Because he looked as if it was a foul. Smith not happy, the manager of Villa.
Just about 90 seconds to play. Neves is going to get a yellow card here because it looked like he was going to take the free kick and then decided not to.
He's not even on the ball.
And that puts him to 9 for the Premier League season, but I'm pretty sure the 10-game cut-off is after this game. As the long kick forwards. Mings wanted it to go out of play for a goal kick. Traore wouldn't give it up, but ended up being fouled.
Well, Mings tried to let it go, and rather than skidding on, it just bounced up, didn't it? Just give Traore a chance. They got the foul, though. Minute left, isn't that?
Nyland to play it forwards into the final minute of the 5 being added on. Wolves leading by a goal to nil. Traore and Douglas Luiz falling to the floor. And a free kick being given to Aston Villa. It'll be Wolves' first win here since 2011. If they can see out the next 30 seconds. Villa are sending all the big boys forwards. Wolves trying to keep as high a line as possible. Nyland with a free kick just short of the halfway line. Maybe one last effort. Ball forwards, it goes over the top of Saiss, but there's a foul there. Courtney Hawes pushing on the Moroccan.
Yeah. Again, say, just use the time up.
Matinho setting the ball. They'll leave it for Patricio. 5 minutes is up. We're in added time at Villa Park. Might not be any supporters in the stadium, but you'll hear the cheers coming all the way from the Black Country in a few moments' time. As Patricio puts it downfield, Craig Pawson puts his whistle to his lips. It's Derby Day glory for Wolverhampton Wanderers, given to them by the brilliant Belgian Leander Den Donker, his 5th goal of the season, enough to take all 3 points. It's a 3rd win since the restart. It's a 3rd clean sheet since the restart. It's another impressive performance from Nuno's boys in old gold. It finished here at Villa Park. Villa 0, Wolves 1. What a win again.
Yeah, it's a great win. Great result. Again, so look, great finish from Den Donker. I think he's probably man of the match today for me, the way that he played. He's got that more important goal. But I think that he played well up against Grealish. I think Grealish come out here, met his matches again today. But good result. Good result. Clean sheet as well. Clean sheet will be the important part, what they're looking at.
Once again, they weren't brilliant.
No.
But they did enough to win.
Did the job. It's all about results. All about results. Getting the right result. Wasn't a great game, but you could definitely tell that they upped the tempo in that second half. They looked a lot sharper, a lot brighter. I think they've had more possession in that second half. Villa staff and players aren't happy, are they?
It's a big performance, a big result, and the reaction is to come. Don't go anywhere. Andy Thompson, Matt Jarvis, Dave Edwards, and more reaction on Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. We are back in just a second. Celebrate, everybody. Wolves are the kings of the West Midlands.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
This season, the Old Goal Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Coutinho trying to release Jota down the left-hand side. Goalkeeper thought about coming in and didn't. Jota is wiped out just outside the penalty area. This is going to be a yellow card coming. It's just too quick for him. João Coutinho, the step at right footed from the free kick. Calls it, oh, that's unbelievable! João Coutinho has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this? 60 games without a goal comes to an end. Magic Coutinho, 5'7" of football heaven, delivers on the south coast. Coutinho trying to take the free kick quickly, in behind for Traore.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
Welcome back to Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. How about that then? Wolves claiming Derby Day glory at Villa Park for the first time since 2011. Oh, you can see the smile on my face. Oh, Andy Thompson alongside me as well. We'll get the thoughts of Dave Edwards and Matt Jarvis here. We'll get your reaction from down at pitch side as well. Oh, Matt Jarvis, you are no longer the last Wolves man to score a winner at Villa Park. How does that feel?
Well, mixed emotions. No, it's a fantastic result for Wolves. Much needed. Puts them right back in the hunt. And yeah, obviously it was nice to see my goal this morning, but yeah, I'm sure it will come up again some point.
It was the goal, we spoke to Dave about it just after it happened. It's a brilliant finish by Leander Dendoncker. It's a goal that's worthy to win this kind of game. Yeah,
I think you could see he has a good touch. He shifts it, and then you could see exactly like where he was thinking of going. He's clean strike right into the corner. Keeper's got no chance, and it all did start from that lovely little back heel with Johnny right in the own half, and then he's carried on his run, and he's played such an important role in that goal. But it's a really good finish.
Dave, were they worthy winners?
Yeah. I thought, even though Villa had a good start to the game, I thought Wolves were streets ahead of them, football-wise, ability, dominating the game, limited Villa to very, very little. Just the way Wolves play at the moment, they just control teams. It's brilliant to watch, and there's not one point in that game, even going into the final few minutes, you never think in a million years that Villa are going to get that equaliser. Such a controlled performance, and I'm sure that's going to see Wolves get really close to these Champions League spots this season.
It was almost as if the biggest opportunity Villa had was given to him when Bolly made an uncharacteristic mistake and kicked it against his own foot. That was the only time you thought there was any kind of alarm.
Yeah, but even that, you see, it was a mistake. But as soon as it happened, he stayed on his feet. He moved the ball away from the goal, and then everyone else came in to help him out. It was just, everyone in the team just follows up and helps your mate out if he makes a mistake, and then they still didn't even look like scoring after that.
Shows though, doesn't it, Dave, that as Javo mentioned and Tomo mentioned in commentary, Neves was there. Doherty was there. The strength of the Wolf is in the pack. It's not just a saying, it's the togetherness that comes from it.
Yeah, most definitely. And that all comes from Nuno, that does. He's got the team spirit is absolutely brilliant. And you can just see the way Wolves perform, that everyone's in it together. It's a really good thing to see. And long may that continue as well.
Well, you can see that we have been joined by a special guest down in the tunnel, Leander Den Donker. Congratulations, my friend. What a performance that was from the team.
Yeah, I think so. Great game again. I think we were the entire game. Maybe only the last 10 minutes was quite tough because they were coming and putting extra strikers in. So that was hard, the last 10 minutes. But I don't think that we gave away a lot of chances, and I think that's the merit of the whole team, and especially the defense, what a lot of people forget, which is normal because all of the attention goes to the attackers. But I think the defense deserves a great merit as well.
Well, it's the third game in a row that I found myself after the game kind of saying it felt like you were in complete control from minute 1 to minute 90, and it's almost like you haven't been away for 3 months.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've been working really hard in the last month, and we were looking forward to this, to playing games again, and with the whole team. And as you said, I think we've been controlling again, and I think that's really good. So I think we have to keep going now.
Leander, I want to introduce you to one of our pundits that's been on the program with us today. Matt Jarvis was, until you, the last man to score a winner for Wolves at Aston Villa. You've nicked his record and he's gutted.
Congrats and sorry, man.
I know. I said it was mixed emotions for me as well. But no, congratulations. It was a fantastic strike. And it all sort of started from Johnny down in doing like a back heel in his own half and then continuing his run. Did he say to you, that's my assist, you got to give me some praise?
Yeah. All I had to do was shoot, really. So it was a good action.
Oh, it wasn't that easy.
Yeah, it was a fantastic strike.
Thank you.
Dave Edwards is with us as well. Dave, you scored a lot of goals from midfield. I know you were very impressed with Leander's performance and finish.
Yeah, from start to finish, Leander, you put in the all-round performance. One of the best performances I've seen you put in a Wolves shirt, definitely. Talk us through the goal. Was it literally on my weak foot, so just concentrate and make good contact?
Yeah, thank you. I had no choice other than shoot with the left. So I just tried to aim for the target, and went in. So but I'm especially really happy for the team that we can win again, and I just hope we can keep going.
That's the thing, isn't it, Leander? I mean, having had this break, to come back to it now and had these 3 games in quick succession, how difficult has it been to adapt to everything that's gone around these games?
Yeah, it's quite hard. Like today, we are changing ourselves in the press conference.
Just paused on Leander. There he is.
He is.
But only thing that counts is the game, really, and that's what we're trying to focus on. And I think
I think we're just losing our line to Leander Den Donker, who is making his way into the bowels of the stadium to go and get changed. So we will, Leander, if you can still hear us, hopefully you can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
One final question before we let you go and get ready and enjoy your week. The confidence must be absolutely buzzing amongst the group in there, but you as a squad are notable for not getting carried away. So how do you keep yourselves under control now from 3 wins from 3?
Yeah, I just think we try to work hard on training, and we just we just try to work really hard in every training session and try to get the best out of ourselves, and just try to focus on every game, and I hope we can keep going this way, recover really well now, and then we will see again.
Leander, brilliant. Well done today. Congratulations on a superb goal, and enjoy your week, and we'll see you next weekend.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well done. Thank you. Bye.
Leander Dendoncker joining us on Matchday Live Extra. Tomo, I thought he was absolutely sensational today.
So do I. So I thought that he did really well in that midfield area after coming back in after the change. And look, he's a quality player. So look, his energy levels when he's working there, he's up and down. I thought that he played really well against Grealish. I thought that he stopped him from causing any problems. I think he was getting frustrated by it as well. So that's the reason why they brought him in. They brought him in to do a job in there because he's got quality, but getting a great goal. So look, he's saying, "Oh yeah, I'll just hit it with my left foot." I'll tell you what, he's shifted it to one side and he's hit it swinging away from the goalkeeper. He was nowhere near it in Ireland. So it just shows you the quality of what he's got. And again, he's had I thought he was probably man of the match today. I thought he played really well.
And you know, the thing is, Dave, when we were doing it ourselves, when everybody looked at the team sheet, we're all thinking, actually, we'd rather Traore be in there. Most people would have been like, well, you know, he's coming back in. It's unfair to him, and he's gone out there and proved his manager right, and he's been more than worthy of being in that starting lineup. So what do we know?
Yeah. Well, Nuno knows best. I had a quick look on the Twitter feed when the team came out, and underneath there's a few people saying I think Traore should start, but then underneath every single one of those was in Nuno we trust. So the fans are fully behind him, and you can see why he's done it today. It's nice to see Leander's actually let Jack Grealish out of his pocket before he's gone back to the changing room, because he didn't get a kick. He had one shot from the edge of the box, but even in the dying minutes, he was tackling him all the time. Every time Grealish got on the ball, he was close to him, not letting him go forward. And with Villa, if you're quiet and Jack Grealish, then you've almost won the battle then. And that was his task today, but it was far more than that. Offensively, I said in that drinks break, the runs he makes in behind the fullbacks from midfield are brilliant. Takes so much pressure off Jimenez, always happens to be the one to do it. And from start to finish, all round midfield, box to box, brilliant performance.
Well, he's just like you. So like that was.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Those runs from deep. Yeah, so that's the things. It's hard to defend against when you've got those runs coming from midfield area into the channels, and that's what he does really well. So, like I said, a number of times where he's run beyond the back line of them to get into there, and he said it eases the pressure on the forwards to get in there as well.
Yeah, he made a lot of runs and he doesn't even get the ball, but it just frees people up. It affects that back line. It will just give Jimenez an extra couple of yards, or Traore or Jota. And a lot of people won't notice the amount of work that Dendoncker does off the ball when we've got it and when we haven't got it. And that's what all the other lads be so grateful to have him in the team. He really is a manager's joy.
It's unusual though, isn't it, Matt, in that when they play as a three, obviously Neves has his role within it. We talked a lot about that last week, actually. And Moutinho, Dendoncker is different. The three of them are different. They seem to complement each other, and yet their characteristics are so varied.
Yeah, but that's why they've got such a good squad, and you can rotate players, tweak little things for different games. And like they're saying, this game was just perfect for him. He's come in, he's had Jack Grealish, he's not had a sniff all game, and he's dominated him going the other way. And he's got his goal. He's cemented, that was my opportunity to come into the team, show everyone what I'm capable of and what I can do. And he's done that. He's got man of the match. He's got the winning goal, and he's shown everyone that I can do all of the hard graft and I can run the other end and score goals. I think it's just it's each game that Wolves have recently, everyone has got their roles in the team and they're all performing to that level, and they're winning games based on everyone doing the right things at the right time, and it's a joy to watch.
It gives him that physical presence in there as well. I think that he's got that presence in there where he does all the grafting. Moutinho and Neves are allowed to play, as you said, by him running forward and getting up there. It does open up the space for the other two in the midfield area as well. And then when we haven't got it, defensively, he's been absolutely brilliant today as well.
Boys, can we have a little talk? I mean, Leander Dendoncker just said there that the attackers get all the credit It's clearly not been watching this Zoom enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we give loads of credit to the defenders. And I want to give credit to Johnny, because Edo mentioned it in the build-up to the goal. I mean, he's done it. He does it at times in the season where you kind of like, he becomes the most advanced player and you're thinking, what's he doing there? Is he just playing his own game? And yet it was perfectly timed, exactly what they needed at that key moment, Matt Jarvis.
I think that's the luxury of the formation that they were playing in as well, that Johnny's able to run up the pitch. Yeah, well, obviously to start with, he's done a fantastic bit of skill in his own half to create the opportunity to drive forward, and it goes into Traore, and then he's just thinking, yep, get myself in the box, because he knows that the other people in the team, you got Dendolki, you got Moutinho, Neves, they'll see this happening, and then they'll slot into different positions to make sure that if it does break down, they're in position. So it just gives them the opportunity to get forward. And when he's in them positions, he actually knows what he's doing. He's got great delivery, he's got good touch and awareness, and that's how he sets up Dendonka to get the winning goal.
And yet defensively, Dave Edwards, he was imperious again. They had no joy down that side.
Yeah, he's been brilliant ever since he came in. I think eyebrows are raised when Barry Douglas was sold after such a good season in the Championship. But again, in Nuno, we trust the fans, saying he's brought someone in who's sort of taken it to another level again. Let's say he started the goal and then got the assist. And Wolves are so fluid in the way they play that it was Jimenez who found himself out on the left wing. So Johnny straight away heads down the middle to take Jimenez's place, and then he's the one who provides the assist. But again, like Matt Doherty, he's a very good defender. Everyone talks about them going forward, but defensively, Wolves are a back five when they defend. Limit them to not many crosses, and when they do come in, then you've got Willy Bolly and Romain Sace heading the ball away. But not many people will beat Wolves' fullbacks. Not many wingers have got better than them this season so far. And it's just such a settled back line at the moment, and just need to keep everyone fit, keep everyone available, and Johnny's key to that as well.
Because Tomo is that thing, isn't it? Of Matt Doherty gets the plaudits a lot of the time because he gets the goals and the direct assists. But yet Johnny, for me, over the second half of the season especially, has been possibly one of the most consistent. He's a minimum of a 7 out of 10 every single week.
Yeah, that's what you want from your players. And as again, he say he's done that little trick in the second half, where he's dragged it back and the goals come from it. But he's very consistent. He does it week in, week out. He plays really well, but he's starting to offer things going forward a lot more now. So he's getting in there. I said the other night about him, at one stage, he was standing in the centre forwards position right against their back line. And that's what he does. So because there's people in the team who will cover him, who will fill in for him if he's out of position. But that's the strength of this side. The strength of this side is the work ethic, what they do, the way that they perform, they go out there and make it difficult for teams. But we touched on that one about Bolly where they had a chance. You look at it, they just swarm around the ball. They stop people from playing. They make it very difficult to break them down. And they try and cut out everything that they can do to stop the opponents getting a shot at goal. And as you mentioned, I think Jack Grealish's shot in the first half was probably the only one. And that was from 25 yards or so.
7 clean sheets in the last 8 games.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Well, the organisation, when they haven't got the ball, is unbelievable. Yeah. So, look, we've watched it time and time again. They're very difficult to break down.
They're just so comfortable being without the ball. When the other team's got the ball, they just sit in. They're comfortable to be going side to side, and then when they see one opportunity to win it back, they all go as a team, and that's how they're so incredibly sharp and bright and just burst forward. But they are quite happy to sit back and retreat, and because they know that teams aren't going to break them down because they're so solid.
It's not always easy as a fan watching them when they do that. Let's get a fan's perspective on the afternoon. Dave Evans from the Wolves Fancast is waiting to join us. How are you, my friend, from a fan's perspective? Oh, I don't like it when they start allowing teams to come onto them, but got the job done.
Yeah, very much so. 3 wins in a row. I think that's all you can ask for, really. I think, you've got probably a bit of a tough run coming up. Sorry, my daughter's in front of me live.
By the sound of that.
It's like your Matchday, haven't you?
Come here, can you say hello quickly? Okay, well, I'm going to talk here. Okay, right. It's just like that BBC thing all over again. tough win. Well, a good win. Tough run to come. But I think, all you can ask for, really. 3 wins in a row. They got the job done, and it's great.
I was just saying to the guys that, these boys have all played the game, so they're all massively confident in the way that Wolves can defend. From a fan's perspective, when you see that last 10, 15 minutes, because it means more on a day like this, was it pretty nervy?
I think it's always nervous for Wolves. It doesn't matter how well we're doing. I think there's always a bit of heart in your mouth. But I think what we've seen with this side, in especially the last year or so, is this is a different Wolves now. I think they can see the games out. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, you could have seen Wolves giving away a goal in the last minute. But I think there's enough composure and enough class in that team where they can just get the job done.
It's that thing, isn't it? Like Dave Edwards, actually, you've got a great perspective on this because you've been there most recently. You know what I mean, don't you? That last 10, 15 minutes nerves, sometimes around Molineux, you can feel it in the vibe. Dave's saying it's not quite there anymore. It's changing.
Completely gone. Watching the games, you never ever feel in any sort of worry that Wolves are going to concede goals. Even if, like Villa today, they're going to have possession, we're going to be camped inside our own sort of 30, 40 yards, and you still know that they're not going to get a really good chance. Whereas, say, certainly when I was there, if we were getting camped in the last 5 or 10 minutes, it's just praying for that final whistle. It's only a matter of time until they score, and hopefully it's going to come after the whistle. But as Dave said then, it's the composure. It's the way they can see a game out, and when they do get the ball, they're not just hooping it clear and then defending again. They're keeping the ball and moving out. And if anything, we're going to have a chance on the counter-attack. Wolves are evolving very, very quickly, and the way they control football games is just absolutely incredible.
Who really impressed you today, Dave Evans?
I think Johnny, actually. I thought he was really, again, I think he just shows his strength, really cool. I'm still getting over that ballet dance he does to start off the effort for that goal. I just thought he was great going forward, really strong defensively, and it just shows you what a great player he is. But yeah, I thought Otto for me, it was great today.
What will this mean to the fans?
I think we can start dreaming every single game now. I think there's been a couple of games where you see there's more hype about the Champions League spot and kind of trying to keep a bit cool going now. There's still a few games to go. Man U and Chelsea are still in form as well. But, after every game and after every win, there's no reason why fans can't be dreaming of that Champions League spot now. 5th place. You look at some form of Leicester as well, who haven't come back to the restart as well. You start thinking, if Wolves continue their form, if Leicester start slipping as they have, it could be even higher up the table. But as long as Wolves keep doing what they're doing, we can keep dreaming.
It's this thing, though, isn't it? Like, I don't like it. I don't like people talking about the Champions League because it feels like you're setting yourself up for something.
Yeah, and it's one of these things where this has just been sprung on us. We didn't expect this at the start of the season. This is just a very nice bonus. And I think we've got to reflect on, if it doesn't happen for us at the end of the season, this has still been an incredible season. It will still be a very good finish. Wolves realistically could still get 6th place at least, which, the fact that the team hasn't very much changed over the summer, it's still near the same start 11 bar Neto. You've got to look at it as this will still be season on season a great achievement.
The thing, Tomo, like I was looking at it yesterday because basically, in fact, all you guys know me and you know how sad I am that I do all these kind of stats and prep work and all this stuff. And I have a sheet that plots out every team's position in the league table after each match round. And we forget that after 4 or 5 games, when we got turned over by Chelsea and Everton, we were like 19th. And there were people at the time going, is this too much?
Yeah.
Not turned out like that, Tomo.
No, it hasn't. So, with the size of squad that we've got and the Europa Cup that we've played in, the way that we've gone in that, and we're still in it, people questioned about when it was, should we be really in it? Because people questioned, is it too early last year when we did qualify for it? But it just shows you the quality and strength and the way that they keep players fit. That's the thing. And recovery is one of the biggest things that they've done. We've seen them in games where they don't look tired towards the end of the games. If anything, that's when they're most dangerous. They push on, they get the goals. They've had the wins and the victories. So look, it's a good team. He's got a squad now. He's added to that. You've got people who can come off the bench and make an impact in games now, where probably that was the one thing that people questioned. What could he change? He's done that this year. We beat the teams this year were near the bottom, where we lost to Huddersfield twice last year. And again, this team is growing all the time and getting better all the time. And I know you don't want to talk about it ever, but again, they're pushing for that. They're pushing for it. They're going to get it.
I won't talk about it until it's the final day.
I still think everyone's forgetting that, even at the start, or even just before the break, they were conceding early goals in games and being behind in games, and they still didn't panic. They still played exactly the same way. It wasn't like, oh, we're 1-0 down, we need to score. It could be the 60th, 70th, 80th minute, and they're still passing the ball around because they know they're going to get an opportunity and they're going to score, and they get themselves back in, and then they're winning games. And that's just that mentality that Nuno's installed in that team, and that all of the players have bought into it, and they're all working for each other. You don't see people that, for instance, Neto would be so disappointed that he didn't play today because he's been magnificent, but he's there for the team. If it's not right for him to come on today, or to start today, he's not going to be moaning and he's going to be going around, come on lads, we need to win today. It's all about the team. And yes, when you hear every single player, I know it's a cliche because we all do it, but after the game, everyone's going, doesn't matter, it's all about the team, it's all about winning. And you can actually feel that as they genuinely mean it, and everyone wants the team to do well because they know that they're capable of getting into this Champions League.
Thing is, though, right? I mean, you mentioned the conceding first thing. They've done it in 18 of 32 games. If the table was taken on just first half performances alone, I know because I've looked it up.
You've got the stats on it, didn't you?
They would be bottom. Genuinely, Wolves would be bottom if it was just on the first half. On the second half alone, Wolves would be third. From a fan's point of view, Dave Evans, that must be so frustrating.
Just don't watch the first half.
Exactly. It's a bit of a thing. It's a bit of a thing, really. Now that you can sometimes watch the first half and just think you're not worried because you know that Wolves are just going to ease into it. I think Matt kind of just summed it up perfectly there. We're at a point now where Wolves will just feel their way into a game. They'll ease their way into the game. If something happens, they just don't panic. They just carry on playing their game, and they know that they will get that opportunity. Yes, it probably comes in the second half, but as long as Wolves get those opportunities, it's fine. I mean, especially you see in the second half, especially when we have the formations where Traore comes on the second half, they just crank up the gear. And you can see in some of the last games we've had, they've still got more gears to go up if they need to. And I think you might see that in this last 6-game run now, though we're going to see those gears go up.
That's a scary.
I also think they've got even more to come on the bench as well with these extra subs as well at the moment. It's just prime time for Wolves because they've got such a good squad that they've got players on the bench that can change games in an instant. And not many clubs in this league at the moment can have 5 players that can come off the bench that impact.
Edo, you obviously had a taste of how the backroom team works in that first kind of pre-season. Actually, none of the media team we always got kicked out of those first early training sessions, so no one really knows how much kind of went into it. So you've got the best perspective on the fitness element to it because the boys are right. Everyone else has come back from this 3-month break and have taken a while to get into it. Wolves just look like they've got so much in the tank.
Yeah, it's not a one-off, is it? I think since Nuno's took over, the injury record's been incredible. I think over the last 2 years, it's the best in Premier League history for availability. And they are doing something different. They sort of implemented it when I was in my final months at the club. This is something I've not seen other teams do to the intensity which they work up before training with the prehab stuff they call it, making sure that they're fit and ready to go out. They have guys working with them, and it might not just be a fitness coach. There might be an analyst guy in there. There might be someone else in there just going one-to-one with people or one-to-one with players, making sure they go through every single exercise before training. And then they pull groups after training. If someone hasn't quite hit their numbers, they pull them, they do extra work. And I remember that pre-season, in the first season Nuno took over, it was really tough. If you remember our pre-season games, we were terrible. I don't think we won a game, did we? And he always kept... Yeah. I mean,
Austin Samuels.
But I think
the Shrewsbury game as well, was it? So like where people started to question what was going on.
Exactly, yeah. But he always kept saying to us that these are just training sessions. We were going into the games after training in the morning and we were knackered. And there's a few lads saying, "Oh, this isn't right," and he was just, "Trust me, this is the way we're going to do it." And then it wasn't until that last game in pre-season Leicester where he did a proper week's building to would be a normal game. And then obviously went and turned Leicester over, and then went into the Championship and they flew. But the stuff they do at the training ground is amazing. And I know for a fact now other sports science teams are looking at what Wolves are doing. They're trying to get tips. They're trying to get inside to see what's happening there, because they're doing something which no one else is doing at the moment. And you can see they only need 14, 16 players max. And if they can keep them fit, they know the togetherness and the chemistry between them lads is going to be better than any other team in the league. And that's showing now.
Dave Evans, just before we let you go, I know, like me, you'll have lots of friends or so-called friends who are Aston Villa supporters. So I know, like me, you'll be very keen to get off this call and start getting on the phone to all of them to gloat and brag. But the fans are going to be absolutely buzzing for this week, aren't they? What a moment.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. Look, as a derby, it's great to win that local derby anyway. But I think what Wolves are showing us, like I mentioned before, is that we can just keep dreaming. This is something we probably wouldn't have thought of, even last year, to be in this position. And it's just exciting to watch Wolves. Some of this brand of football is absolutely fantastic. And we've got games coming up now. We've still got a tough next 3 games with Arsenal, Everton and Sheffield United, even though 2 of those at home. But you go into those games, you're thinking, there's no reason why Wolves can't pick up another 9 points. As ridiculous as that seems in the grand scheme of football, you go into every game now thinking, not only could Wolves win this game, but I'm going to be entertained. And that is absolutely fantastic.
Well, it's a good job the pubs don't open until next weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Wolverhampton will be pretty lively tonight. Dave Evans, thank you very much indeed. Thanks for joining us from the Fancast.
Cheers, guys.
I know you'll enjoy yourselves on social media for the coming week, and plenty of Leander Dendoncker gifts, please, to celebrate the
very
much. Belgium.
Cheers, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, mate. From the Fancast. Last couple of moments just before we wrap up here then, guys. I do have to point out that certain predictions that were made before the game.
He's got one right. One right.
Is that why you don't do predictions?
I just listened to your stuff and then decide on something else, and it absolutely paid off for me.
But have you noticed it never mentions if we get it right either? So that's the thing.
But this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, I keep saying this, guys. The feelings will go around, and the expectation will climb, and it will continue to rise to a level that none of us have seen for an awful long time. Listening to Leander Dendoncker, listening to Connor Cody last week, Jarvo, that you were part of, and Edo, I know you've spoken to him and a load of other guys a load of times. The only people who won't be getting carried away are those people within the group, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Connor's funny because as soon as he comes on and goes, no, we're only focused on that game, and then we're only focused on the next game. He doesn't even come into talking about anything else. He shuts it down straight away. Says we were focused on this game, our next game. That's what we're focused on. We're not looking 2 games ahead. We're not looking whatever. So they are very focused on what is happening right now. They're not getting carried away. Nuno, I imagine, is exactly the same. That's how they're like that. They're installed in saying, right, let's make sure that we win the next game, and then we win the next game. And for them, it's working. I don't see why they need to change anything. Obviously, for fans' perspective, I think Dave said they can't quite think, right, well, actually, we've got 3 games. We shouldn't be thinking we can get 9 points. That it is possible. And the way that they're playing at the moment, you can't see them, slipping up too much, because they're fitter, they're stronger, they're in unbelievable confidence. The way that they're passing the ball around, they've got impact players. They've got everything that they need to win football games, and they can do it in all different types of ways.
Still don't like it.
Look at his smiling face.
It's a natural thing, Tomo. I don't, me, I don't like to build this up too much.
No, but look, you can but dream, can't you? So look at the way that things are going, and the record what they've got from last year and this year. So look, it's been outstanding, and the way that they performed. And there's no reason why they come. If anything, the squad's improved from last year. with the way that they do. And the see-out games, they don't look in trouble because you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute, we're going to be hanging on here, especially away from home. You're going to think that the home team's going to come at you, but they don't. They look very comfortable. They look like nothing phases them. They're going to control the game. Look, the defenders of team, as I said before, they make it difficult for teams when they haven't got possession of the ball. They're comfortable in the organisation and the formation that they play, and then they've got the pace and power up front when they want to go on that counter attack. But it's a good squad that he's got. He's got a very good squad. He's got a squad of players who can cause anybody a problem. But the beauty of it as well now, he can start to change things around his formations, the players, depending on what game he's on. He's changed it back to the three in midfield today because of the threat that their star player can give them, Jack Grealish. But he hasn't had a sniff because Dendonker's played well, and it's allowed the rest of the team to go out there and express themselves and make it difficult for Aston Villa, which they did today. Apart from that one shot what they've had off Grealish, it's just they're improving every game for me. So I just think the way that he's got them marshaled, the way that he's playing, has been outstanding for me.
So, Dave Edwards, I look now at Arsenal at home next weekend, Sheffield United away, where they've not been in great form since the restart, maybe just a little bit too much for them at the minute, falling away, but still had an amazing season and very much in it. And then you've got Everton home, Burnley away, Crystal Palace home, Chelsea away. What do they need to do to get to Stamford Bridge for the final day, to be in with a shot and still in touch with Chelsea?
I think that it will go down to that game. I really do. I think Chelsea are in good form, Wolves are in good form, and I can't see Wolves losing more than one game max out of those games. The way they're playing, everything starts from clean sheet, worst case scenario, draw the game 0-0. I think that's the way they go into games because they know they've got the firepower, can hurt teams, but it's so close to being one of the great Wolves seasons of history, definitely of recent history. I can really see them finishing in that top four. I can see them going deep into the Europa League. I know you don't want to hear it, Mikey, but they are the team who are in form, and if a neutral,
no one will want to play them.
If a neutral's looking on now, and you have to, I know Man United are starting to pick up, but they're the team which are so hard to play against, the most consistent team. I still think Man United can go and have a bad game away at Burnley or somewhere like that, whereas I don't think Wolves can. I think it's just part of the process for them. It's another game, like you boys were saying before. And I really, really do fancy them to finish the season strong. They are the form team in the league at the moment. 3 out of 3 haven't conceded a goal since they've come out of this lockdown. It's going to be an exciting finish for the fans, and I'm looking forward to it. And the season could go. But when's the Europa League final, Mikey? You might not get much time off.
Let's not get. We'll come to cross that bridge when we come to it.
You can get them one legs out.
All right, Connor.
Yeah, you can see how much I've been hanging around with them. Because I guess, Jarbo, when you look at that remaining fixtures, in a way, Arsenal, Everton, Burnley, Palace, if you're picking it, teams in that mid-table element that maybe by the time we come to play them aren't really involved either way. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I think for this Wolves side, it doesn't really matter. Nuno's not going to change anything that he's planning, even if these teams are trying to get Champions League or trying to save from relegation. They're going to be going about their game exactly how he wants them to set up. So I don't think it matters who they play and what they're fighting for. I think Wolves have got their eye on the prize and they're going to be working for that. That's it. There's no other things that they'll be thinking about. It's right, we're playing Arsenal, right? Let's get a result against Arsenal. I don't see it going anything different than that. Okay.
Boys, I really appreciate having you on with us as ever, even if you are all getting madly carried away with still so many games to go until the end of the season. Thank you very much to Matt Jarvis, to Dave Edwards, and of course, Andy Thompson for being with me as ever here on Wolves TV, Matchday Extra Live. Thank you to all of you for watching as well. Enjoy, because the bragging rights belong once again to Wolverhampton Wanderers. See you all soon.
Wolves TV Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
Jota on the volley, oh, a goal! That is simply stunning! Neves takes 2 touches,